And we are live. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another live stream where I answer your questions about cell phone plans, help you pick the best deal, and get the newest devices at the best price possible. Before we dive in today, we have so many wonderful people here in the live stream, in the chat, tuning in. Scott saying the only good part about Mondays, LOL. Oh, Jordan actually starting us off with a great question. We will get to everyone. So many wonderful folks here. Jordan's asking, what do you think of Apple selling iMessage/FaceTime as a subscription for Android users? Would you subscribe to it and possibly switch to Android, $5 to $10 a month, and include an Apple One? Jordan, I think this is actually a fantastic idea. I would love to see this. I think, first of all, Google is here. They are with RCS. And they are trying to fix the messaging issues. The truth is, candidly, messaging issues still exist. I am coordinating a group chat or in a group chat, and the RCS version got like 2 different group chats, and it was confusing, and like you add people to it, and sometimes it makes a new group chat. iMessage group chat, it just works. It is a really great messaging experience for us folks here in the United States. I would love to see it. Would I personally switch to Android? I think there are other... Just the experience of using Android isn't for me. I would probably stick to iPhone. I would really love to see that feature though, and it would make it a lot easier to kind of bounce between an iPhone and an Android device. But I'm curious, would you guys like to see iMessage and FaceTime as a subscription for Android users? Let me pop in to the back end. I'll make a poll for you guys. See if you would like that option as an Android user to subscribe, and if you would subscribe. So let me go ahead and pop in here, start a poll. Would you be interested in an iMessage/FaceTime subscription? I will say it is possible for Android users to join a FaceTime call right now. I think the iPhone user has to like create a link and then send that out. But it's not as smooth and seamless as it could be. All right, bam. The poll is started. Curious what you guys think. All right, we got to welcome so many fine folks here. Green is here. Hello, Green. Welcome. Great to see you in the chat. Jeremy is here. Great to see you. Mr. Plant, I got the Mint Mobile $15 deal 2 days before that went away. Staying with that for the next 11 months. That was a fantastic promotion. Mint dropped the price of their unlimited plan all the way down, 50% off to just $15 a month for your first year. Superb value. We've got Voodoo 1013. The only good things about Mondays is the plan device stream with Stetson Doggett. I'm happy to bring a smile to your Monday. I love it. I think it's a great stream. Musi is here, or Mussy, ready to eat dinner while watching. Awesome. Great to have you here. Mr. Plant saying T-Mobile has, what is that? That's 1,000. That would be 10 million times faster speeds in their area than Verizon and AT&T. Big Tank, hello Stetson from Detroit. Welcome, Big Tank. Great to see you here in the chat. Mussy, who's ready for another Monday special? I think we all are. Scott saying T-Mobile kills it with the 2.5 gigahertz spectrum they acquired from Sprint. So true. So true. N41 is just incredible. The irony is it's the exact same spectrum Sprint tried to use for their WiMAX 4G network, and they got totally screwed by the LTE standard. They did. You're absolutely right. They really did. It's a bummer. They were just too early. Scott, on trade-in, thinking of buying a cheap 13 on eBay to trade in, keep the 15 Pro to sell myself, should net an extra $250 to $300. Yeah, Scott, you are absolutely correct. And for those of you who are curious, I mean, the model is, let me pull this up here. So open a quick Chrome tab, go into my, probably one of my second favorite websites that's out there. And it is going to be, of course, if you've been on the stream for a while, you already know. I've got it loaded up. Here it is, Swappa. If you are taking advantage of a big carrier deal, so just go to Verizon for an example. Boom, iPhones, look, they are throwing deals at the wall, it feels like. iPhone 17 Pro, iPad, and 6 months of Apple One all on us. Bottom line, if you're doing that iPhone 17 Pro trade-in, typically you need to trade in. It's either going to be an iPhone 13 or 13 Pro or newer. The carriers do change it up a little bit from time to time, but you can grab a gently used iPhone 13. Let's just say that's what you need. Doesn't have to be perfect. Battery health doesn't even matter. Let's say, looks like 257, unlocked blue, fair condition. This would probably work. Looks like it's functional, turns on. Honestly, looks like this is in great condition. So you spend $250, you get this phone. You can then sell the phone you currently have, say an iPhone 15 Pro, and sell that on Swappa, and you would get even more money than just trading that iPhone 15 Pro into Apple or into Verizon directly. So let's go here, unlocked. Looks like starting at 500 fair. Of course, I would imagine you probably have a good condition, and if you have a higher storage tier, that would also net you some. I think maybe 550 is a reasonable amount. 551, unlocked blue, and it comes with a case. Swappa is just so good. It's so good. Anyway, that is a great strategy, Scott, so I definitely respect that. Kyle, welcome, everyone. Hello, hello. Daniel's Tech, hello, hello. Great to see you. Scott, Mr. Plant, of course. Gabriel, great to see you in the chat as well. In Florida, T-Mobile gets gigabit speeds almost everywhere I go outside, and at least 500 indoors. That is astonishing. T-Mobile also fantastic here in Colorado. And of course, if you guys are curious, you can check out map.coveragemap.com, and you can check out, it looks like we were just looking in Appleton. Is this Appleton, Wisconsin is where we were last. But pop over to the T-Mobile network here. And I mean, you go to Florida and it is ripping fast. Look at all this. 500 down, and this is just average, right? You go to best, all of a sudden these are 13, 14, 1700 megabits per second. Truly an astonishing network. Great speeds performance in Florida. And here's Miami. I mean, just so fast. So good. I love it. I love it. We've got Green. Thank you so much. Does AT&T Turbo have higher QCI than US Mobile Premium Plan on Darkstar? What are the QCI values for each? Green, this is a fantastic question. So for those of you who might be new to the stream, new to the cell phone world, the channel, QCI stands for Quality of Service Class Identifier. And it's a number that is either 6, 7, 8, or 9 that determines your priority on the cellular network. Now, each carrier handles the QCI values a little bit differently. AT&T, you have QCI 6. My understanding is that is going to be first responder tier. QCI 7 is going to be AT&T Turbo. QCI 8 is just the regular priority data, and then QCI 9 is going to be deprioritized. In the context of AT&T Turbo versus US Mobile Unlimited Premium, US Mobile Unlimited Premium is going to be QCI 8 regular priority, exact same as the default AT&T Unlimited Premium PL and Unlimited Extra EL plans. However, AT&T customers can purchase AT&T Turbo. I think it's $7 a line a month, and that will notch you up to QCI 7 priority on the AT&T network, which should theoretically give you faster speeds during times when that network is busy. So Green, thank you so much for your generosity and support, and I hope that's helpful. Mark, simply saying, good evening, Stetson. Glad to help you. Mark, I appreciate you as always. So wonderful to see your name in the chat this evening. Kyle is saying you'll have to check the prepaid offers carefully to see which features meet your needs. Kyle, that is absolutely correct. CJ saying Mint does not support the full SMS standard. Group chats are capped at like 10 users, and even 3-user group chats sometimes don't work. How do I convince my friends on Mint to switch? This is interesting, CJ. I candidly haven't even heard of this. It's a T-Mobile owned MVNO at this point, so I would expect Mint to get the full feature service. And I guess I don't recall having issues while I used Mint. This is back in my college days, a couple of years ago. Well, more than a couple of years ago at this point. But I'd be surprised by that. And I don't know, maybe people in the chat who have Mint can chime in if you've had issues, if this is something you've seen. I don't think I recall that. I think everything worked fine for me when I was a Mint Mobile customer. And I do have a Mint Mobile line. This is like, guys, this is like phone roulette, right? I mean, can I even show this? We've got all the phones here, and it's like, which one do you think has the Mint Mobile service on it? That is the question. That is the unknown. Okay, I think I'm narrowing it in. Might be. So this one? Oh, this one says Mobile X. We found the Mobile X phone. Just a quick check. Settings, cellular. I mean, I have like 10 lines at this point. Actually, I think I have 26 lines. So maybe I should make a big group chat and test it out for you, CJ. I can do that probably after the live stream. I'm not going to do that live. I don't even know what the numbers are. But yeah, curious what people think. Tommy is saying, I am not paying for iMessage when RCS is free. What's the selling feature? Blue. Hey, Tommy, you know what? That is a fair point, right? RCS, it does bring the sort of similar features that iMessage has to Android. I would say, like, what's unique about iMessage? Maybe unique is the wrong word because you can probably get these on WhatsApp and other chat apps. The things that I feel like I see people using that I would not be able to use on Android or something such as that would be maybe so send later is currently a feature that I know Android has. iPhone, you can only use it for iMessage. Polls is something we get. Getting the chat backgrounds. Also doing the audio. People sometimes like to record those voice memos or voice notes and then send those. And I think that works with WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger, things such as that, but does not work if you're doing RCS, iPhone, and Android. At least that's been my experience. So, yeah, it's a fair point. It's probably not worth it, but maybe for some people it is worth it. Kyle is saying Turbo is QCI 7, and Kyle, you're absolutely correct. You're absolutely correct. Maxwell is saying, I wish T-Mobile would bring that network experience to Northern California. Oh man, are you out there? Are you not getting it? What's do I dare ask what the zip code is? Gosh, I mean, Northern California seems just a very rural area. The more rural you get, the more mountainous the terrain, the more challenging it is to get coverage out there. Granted, you upgrade one tower, and sometimes that covers the whole town. I mean, Sacramento looks like it's getting some fast speeds, right? Pop in 1,400, over 1,000, a couple slower ones, but in general seems pretty good. Just depends on the area. Mark is saying, I love my new iPhone 17 Pro Max. What a device. Mark, you're absolutely correct. What a device indeed. It is fantastic. I think Apple really killed it this year. And funny enough, as someone who's been using the older phones, I've been using the 12 Pro. Using is a generous term. I've been messing around with them, running some speed tests. But holding the 12 Pro, 13 Pro, 14 Pro, 15 Pro, and 16 Pro, the 17 Pro just feels so good in the hand. It's the rounded corners, that aluminum unibody. It's really nice. I think it's really nice. Nino, 5-hour stream tonight. Nino, probably not. I appreciate it though. Not to flex on anyone, but when T-Mobile came out with the 5G tower, it was in my city and it was 2 minutes away from my home. Oh my gosh. Cookie Monster Gone Wild, you must be getting some very excellent T-Mobile speeds, probably also eligible for T-Mobile 5G home internet. Convince them to upgrade their phones to the latest version of iOS so they get RCS messaging and don't need SMS. That is a great point. That is a great point. The newest version of iOS includes full support for RCS, and it is very, very similar. Getting those rich group text experiences, iPhone and Android now with RCS. It's a beautiful thing. Asmol, I got the US Mobile buy one, get two promo, so I have 2 free lines with unlimited premium and unlimited starter from before. How long do I have to port out of US Mobile and port back to a free line? I think, so don't quote me on this, but I think a lot of carriers consider sort of 90 days as how long you need to be off network to be considered a new customer. If you had unlimited starter, you're asking like converting a paid unlimited starter to one of the free ones. I think you could just port out and port back. Don't quote me on that. I feel like someone on Reddit hopefully has the answer. I'm sorry I don't have more information. And I don't think the terms are super clear either. Envy, what is the best T-Mobile MVNO? Envy, my pick for T-Mobile MVNOs right now is US Mobile. I think they just have the combination of the best value and the best plans, right? So US Mobile, they're doing another promo, by the way. I feel like every live stream we talk about US Mobile, and it's like another new promo just dropped. This one's really good because it's super weak. It's for new lines, but see this? 3 magical words, everybody. All networks eligible. That's right. Finally, if you had wanted US Mobile on the T-Mobile network or on the Verizon network, this is your opportunity to get a great deal. They are making unlimited premium just $25 a month for $24.90 a month, I should say, for 12 months. And unlimited starter, $16.60 per month. That is just such a good deal. Such a good deal. An unlimited starter comes with 70 gigs of high speed and 10 gigs of hotspot on T-Mobile. Unlimited premium, you're getting unlimited high speed data and 50 gigs of hotspot on the Lightspeed plan. And I think it's a good value because if we go to bestphoneplans.net here, pop over to the plans tab and just give it a beat to load. Like when I think of T-Mobile, Mint is another great option. I think US Mobile is a little bit of a better value right now. And I say that because if we do Mint Mobile Unlimited, and let's just add that to compare, and if we do US Mobile Unlimited Premium Lightspeed, Mint only sells their plans in annual options, so I'm just going to grab that annual option from US Mobile, and we can go ahead and compare these plans. You're going to get more features at the same or better price on US Mobile right now. And I'm going to give the system, it's working hard, it's churning through. I think there are almost 1,000 plans in the database right now based on the multiple lines. All right, so here's the thing, right? $30 a month plus tax, or this is technically $32.50, tax and fees included. And net cost, I'm estimating $32.67 on Mint versus $32.50 on US Mobile. So US Mobile, technically cheaper, at least in my area, and you're getting better features, right? So you're getting the same, actually you're getting better high-speed data. So let me give you the nuance here. Both of these are deprioritized, but on Mint's plan, it is 35 gigs of QCI 7 deprioritized data. And then after 35 gigs, you're deprioritized down to QCI 9. So bottom of the barrel T-Mobile. US Mobile, they're giving you just unlimited QCI 7. So you're going to have a slightly better network experience on US Mobile because of that. You're also getting 5 times the hotspot data, right? 50 gigs of hotspot compared to just 10. You're getting better video streaming quality. We talked about it last stream. Someone said they were getting 4K streaming on US Mobile. I actually checked that on my US Mobile line, and sure enough, for full 4K streaming, once you enable data waster mode, much nicer than 480p and saves you from having to get a VPN. And take a look at these international features, folks, right? Like you're getting so much better international features on US Mobile compared to Mint. Mint, all right, you can call your friends and family in Canada and Mexico. You get 3 gigs in Canada, I guess maybe because Ryan is from there and he was like, yo, we need something. But then $5 a day in Mexico and international add-ons starting at $5 a day for 1 gig. US Mobile, they just give you everything. They throw in the kitchen sink. Like, here's a great unlimited plan in the US. And oh, by the way, you're leaving the US. Here's an even better unlimited plan. So unlimited international texting from the United States. You're getting free international calls to over 200 countries. You're getting 200 minutes, 250 texts, and 20 gigs of free data roaming in Canada and Mexico. And you're getting the same thing in up to 197 countries. That's just all included for free. And again, it's the same price or cheaper. In my area, it's a couple cents cheaper. So I really do think US Mobile is the best value right now. Now, if Mint were to bring back that $15 a month promotion, well, then of course you can't beat that. I mean, $15 is going to be about half the price of US Mobile's plan, and it's going to be a phenomenal value. But I think for right now, as Mint's promotion has ended, unfortunately, let's just check. Yeah, oh, we don't want to save any money. it is going to be US Mobile, giving you the best bang for your buck, and even better bang for your buck with this insane promotion. So if you're interested, consider checking out the affiliate links that'll be in the video description after the live stream. But thank you so much, Envy, for the question. I hope that's helpful. Cookie Monster is saying Mint. I mean, it is a great MVNO, but I think US Mobile a bit better value right now. Nexus. Stetson, I wanted to know what your review and opinion is on Red Pocket. I like what they offer, but I really haven't seen anybody review it. Yeah, I think Red Pocket is, in a word, fine. Let me make sure. Oops, hang on. Red Pocket. Looking at the most updated plans right now. Yeah, Red Pocket it's fine. And I think US Mobile is likely going to be better for a lot of reasons. Features, experience, mobile app. So if we look at, it's actually kind of, I think a little bit challenging to compare everything, but yeah, why bother? Let's just go back. This is why I built my site. It's for this specific reason. Just drives me crazy trying to compare plans across sites. So let's do US Mobile. I mean, Red Pocket is primarily activating on Darkstar right now, or excuse me, on AT&T, which is what US Mobile calls Darkstar. And let's just grab a couple of those. So we'll do US Mobile Unlimited Premium Darkstar. We'll throw in the annual option. We'll do, actually here, we'll do US Mobile, and then we'll do coverage AT&T. And we can grab this one, and maybe we want this one. And then we're definitely going to want that one, and probably this one. Perfect. And now let's just go over Red Pocket, see what they have cooking. All right, we'll grab this one. Is that even still there? Essentials. Yeah, 1 gig, $10 a month. That is still there. It looks like, all right, to Red Pocket's credit, they're likely going to have a bit better international calling options in some of the scenarios, but I think in general, US Mobile is going to be a better value. We will grab, yeah, why not this one? Unlimited Premium, sure. Unlimited Elite, yeah, why not? And Unlimited Elite again. This might have actually been updated too. I have 30 gigs here. I think this has been updated. Yeah, so these are now 50 gigs of what they're saying 5G premium data. I think that's actually deprioritized though. I don't think they're actually offering premium data. Anyway, we've got some plans selected. Let's go ahead. Let's compare plans now and see what we have cooking. In the meantime, Max is asking, how many active lines do you have right now? Max, great question. I actually have to have a spreadsheet to organize this, and it is just called active lines. Where did that go? I think it is 26, and I might be missing a couple. Yeah, current tally is 26 lines. I've got my personal line, T-Mobile Business Unlimited Ultimate. I have 3 Experience More plans that I'm using. I've got 5 Unlimited Ultimate lines that I'm using, 5 Unlimited Premium PL lines that I'm using. We've got Mobile X Unlimited, Mobile X AI. This is reviewing Mobile X right now. I actually do like a lot of things about Mobile X. They also have a lot of room to improve. I have a Google Fi line. I have a US Mobile line kicking around. I still have Project Genesis. Should probably end up canceling that. 2 Helium Mobile lines. I've got a Klarna Mobile line. Pronto Mobile. They were nice enough to send out a SIM to test that out. I still have a Boost line. And the moment I get charged for that, I'm canceling. And technically Google Voice for a total of 26 lines that I have tracked. And I actually, wait, no. Oh, it's outdated. I just signed up for Smartless Mobile to see what features were supported there. And I forgot I have Trump Mobile. Oh my God, wait. Funny story on Trump Mobile. Don't tell them this, but they low-key like stopped billing my card. Like they haven't charged me. So that's been free and I'll take it. But what a crazy story. We got to add these in while I'm here. So we got Trump Mobile, and then we also have Smartless Mobile. I think that should be it. I hope that's it. Let me check. It's funny. Every time I go to transfer an eSIM from one phone to another, there's like 30 different options now. Yeah, I think that's it. Total tally currently at 29. Maybe I should get one more, making it even 30. Nah. All right, let's answer this Red Pocket question. We're looking at the comparison here. For 10 bucks, I forgot to grab the US Mobile plan, so I'm just going to show you over here. US Mobile, here we go. Oops. US Mobile offers a 2 gig $10 plan. So instead of Red Pocket's $10 1 gig plan, you can pay the same $10 and get double the data from US Mobile, right? Instead of paying $28 for Red Pocket's plan with only 30 gigs. Wait, was this updated to 50? Let's check. Yep, so this is updated to 50. But still, instead of paying $30 a month for 50 gigs, you can pay $25 and get unlimited high-speed data, right? Same, both are deprioritized. There's no way Red Pocket is priority. They're just saying premium, which is different than saying priority, but just drives me crazy. I think that's going to cause confusion for consumers. Like, what does that even mean? Do we have an asterisk? 50 gigabytes of high-speed data that runs on the latest and fastest 5G networks. Dang, they're saying that is 500 hours of HD video streaming. I wonder what they're considering HD. 720p, 1080p. We can do the math out on that. I'd be curious to learn. But anyway, there is no way this is priority data. This is 100% deprioritized. I wonder if we can see like their network management policy. That would really be it. How it works. Coverage. Maybe terms and conditions. Nope, network management doesn't show up. Network availability. Data services. Okay, here we go. To ensure that all customers have access to reliable services provided at a reasonable cost. Okay. No resources or underlying carrier. Interesting. Reduced data speeds mean mobile internet speeds slowed to approximately 64 to 512 kilobits per second, which is usually sufficient for most mobile internet activities, but not suitable for video streaming. That is a bold statement right there. 512, in their credit, you can get some stuff done. Maps will load. It takes a while, but maps will load. It's slow. It's really slow. Anyway, it's deprioritized. The bottom line, would you rather get unlimited or 50 gigs? And you're getting 4 times the hotspot data. 20 gigs of hotspot on US Mobile, 5 gigs on Red Pocket, same video streaming quality. Red Pocket, to their credit, they do include better international features. International calls to 180 countries. You're getting 100 megabytes in Canada and Mexico, which is technically a bit better. Although, if you go with US Mobile's annual unlimited starter plan, then all of the international features are now included. And that'll make US Mobile even better because we were just looking at Red Pocket's annual plan. So you're getting the free international texting, calling, 1 gig in Canada and Mexico, 10 times the data as Red Pocket, and you're also getting 1 gig in 67 countries. And the same goes for Red Pocket's more premium unlimited elite plan. Again, this technically has 50 gigs, so I apologize for that. I feel like every live stream, it's, hey, this bit of information needs to be updated. So it's good that I do these, and I do try and update it. So for the same, it'd actually be, you'd save $5 a month with US Mobile's plan, give or take. You're getting now priority data. This is true priority data, confirmed QCI 8. You're getting 200 gigabytes of usable hotspot data. That is 10 times the hotspot data as Red Pocket. You're getting better video streaming quality, 4K versus 720p. And just look at the international features. We covered this already, but 20 gigs in Canada and Mexico, 20 gigs in 67 countries. It's a better value. It's a better value. So it's not to say Red Pocket is a bad value. I just think you're going to get more data for a better price with more features and a better user experience with a better mobile app and a better website from US Mobile. So that's my take. That's my opinion. Amin saying US Mobile review. Yeah, I probably should review them. We've got some carriers queued up. Mobile X, maybe Smartless. US Mobile definitely I need to get into the review game end of the year. Start making some videos. All right, we answered that. Max is at least 20. It's a lot. It's too many. All right, let's just jump to the recent. We have some super chats that came in that I 100% missed. Green, thank you so much for your generosity and support in my area. AT&T just turned up the bandwidth of the DoD from 40 megahertz to 60 megahertz, went from 1 gig down to 1.3 gig down, over 100 up now. That is amazing to see. Glad AT&T is utilizing that extra spectrum, improving the network performance, and awesome to see that you're getting those kinds of speeds right now. Green, how much of the 3.45 Department of Defense spectrum did AT&T get from Dish in your area? Have they activated it yet? That is a fantastic question, and candidly, I do not know. I wish I had the information for you. AT&T has not historically been a top performer in my market. T-Mobile and Verizon have been the leaders, so haven't tested that out much. We'll have to keep my eyes out though. And I'll be testing AT&T soon as I do my iPhone speed test video, and they're next. So I'll see if I spot any. Techmaster, thank you so much for your generosity and support. And that is such a cute dog picture, everybody. Do you see that? I wish I could zoom in on it, but so cute, so adorable. I love dogs. Tyler, thank you so much for your generosity and support. CJ, I can't send a screenshot by my friend on Mint in a three-way SMS said, did blank person respond? If so, I can't see it. Basically, they created a three-way SMS but could not see replies from one of the people. That is interesting. I feel like, so it sounds to me like group messaging is not working in that capacity, because group messaging would technically, it would be considered MMS, and sometimes at the top, I primarily use iPhone, so forgive me for not knowing what Android does, but if you're in an iPhone, it'll either properly say the group at the top, or sometimes it'll just say outgoing, and it will text each person in the group individually with the outgoing message there. But I mean, Mint does support RCS, so this person, hopefully they can get RCS turned on, see if there's an option for it in their settings, update their iPhone to the latest available software to them. If they're on Android, make sure they're running the latest version of Android, get their messaging app updated, and see if they can go in and toggle on RCS. And hopefully that helps them get the better messaging features that they need. Final Frontier, thank you so much for your generosity and support. I switched to US Mobile and got a new work number, and it's recycled from a bunch of spam. What do you recommend? They enabled spam ID, but no dice. That is a great question. If it's a new number and you don't really care about it, it might be worth asking them if they can do a number swap for you. I don't know if they can do that or if that's even something they offer, but definitely annoying to get spam. And that's, I mean, when you have 30 phone numbers, guys, the amount of spam you get, it's a lot. It's a lot. It's really annoying. Everything is on mute at all times. No phone can ring except for my personal one. And even then, it's just like the normal amount of spam. Yeah, I'd reach out to support, consider asking nicely if maybe they'd be willing to give you a different number to try out, or yeah, if maybe there's something they can do. I think phones these days are getting pretty good at auto screening spam. So, you know, iPhone and Android, make sure you go into the phone settings, maybe say don't ring if it's an unrecognized number, or do the call screening, that sort of stuff. I wish I had better suggestions for you, but I think that might be it. If you didn't get like a crazy good promo on US Mobile, it may be worth getting a new number or activating a new line or something such as that. So hopefully that's helpful. And again, wish I had better advice. If you guys have anything in the chat, then definitely let me know. Also curious, popping in the chat. I love it. The poll says, would you be interested in an iMessage/FaceTime subscription? 70% no. I respect it. You know, I think Android it's a fantastic operating system. It's got a lot of features, a lot of power, a lot of capability, and it seems like people do not want to be giving Apple money, and I respect it. 71% no now. I will end that But definitely good thought. If you guys have a different question you're interested in getting asked there, let me know. Yeah, all right. Apremaya, thank you. Please, one message in the chat. Appreciate you. Where can I find the exact map for coverage? So there are a couple different resources. I co-founded coveragemap.com, so going to direct you towards that. And there's a couple different resources you can use here. One is just searching for your location and get a kind of a coverage breakdown. I happen to be in this place called Boulder County, kind of in the middle of the United States. And this gives a breakdown of coverage percentage between the carriers, the crowdsourced median download speeds, reliability scores, and you can scroll down and see kind of the coverage bars here and how the different networks compare, as well as the different median download speeds and upload speeds as well. Upload, arguably a little bit more important. Like if you're having a FaceTime call, you want to have, I would say, maybe at least 5 megabits per second or faster speed. So this can be a helpful resource to check out. We also do have our maps. So if you go to the coverage map, we were just looking at this. This will tell you real speeds, crowdsourced from real people. It's not going to give you that coverage footprint because it's crowdsourced, and getting people to run speed tests in every single area across the United States. Turns out our country is massive and we're still kind of a smaller project, just trying to help people out. So, you know, there's going to be a lot of areas that don't quite have the data yet, which is understandable. I mean, not a whole lot of people are going to these more rural locations. That said, we do also offer the signal strength map. This is getting data from the FCC, and we're also correcting it, calibrating it, making the data as accurate as possible. And this is probably one of the better resources for seeing the actual coverage footprint. It's usually pretty good, especially in my area. I've been comparing real world results versus the map, and I found it to be pretty accurate. And you can actually see like where the different towers are located based on these darker clusters of hexagons here. And this is where darker green just indicates better reception, and then lighter green, yellow, and then red is weaker reception. So I hope that's helpful. What is the best phone plan / carrier for iPad? Switch to US Mobile because of you. Thanks for saving me money. Liz, NYC, so happy to hear that you're saving money. I think if you have an iPad and you're already on US Mobile, you can consider just getting another US Mobile line. So it turns out all of US Mobile's plans actually work in iPad. I don't know if they want me sharing this, but you can grab the Unlimited Premium plan or Unlimited Starter. If I were in your shoes, I'd consider the Unlimited Starter option. It's going to be truly unlimited high-speed data on AT&T, 70 gigs on T-Mobile and Verizon. You can grab this plan, $16, $17, under $17 a month, throw it in your iPad, and it's just going to work. I think someone in the chat was asking this last time with the free lines that they got with the previous promo. And yeah, those will work in iPad, no problem. You could also grab, I mean, it almost doesn't make sense because of the promo pricing above, but if you wanted something monthly, $20 for 10 gigs, not a bad option. If you look at other carriers, unfortunately, the pricing is going to be a little bit more expensive because you typically need to bundle a phone line with the iPad line to get that good price. You're already on US Mobile, super easy to add a line from your dashboard. All of these plans should work in an iPad, and you should be good to go. And you can just pick whatever network you want. Maybe you want a different network to complement your voice line, or maybe you just want to get the same network and just have an easy plan in your iPad. I will say hotspot is another great option as well. CJ, thank you so much for your generosity and support. Thoughts on T-Mobile buying US Cellular? Yeah, US Cellular, from my understanding, they were kind of retreating. They were servicing their regional area. They weren't really expanding their network so much. And T-Mobile was kind of going after the more regional or more rural locations. They were building out more and more cell sites, expanding their rural coverage, getting more and more customers, perhaps making it more challenging for US Cellular to compete. I do think it makes sense to have a larger nationwide carrier kind of absorb US Cellular. If anything, it's just going to make the T-Mobile network even better. Like I don't know if they'll utilize the existing towers because I'm sure there's a huge amount of overlap between where US Cellular has coverage and where T-Mobile has coverage. But I imagine they will utilize some of the locations, and more importantly, utilize some of that spectrum as well. So I'm personally okay with it. I mean, it's kind of sad. We had 4 carriers, kind of, and then we had 3, and then we kind of had 4, and now we're really going back to 3, kind of losing US Cellular. It's definitely reducing the competition. At the same time, competition definitely does feel pretty fierce between AT&T, T-Mobile, and Verizon. I mean, we're seeing Verizon offer crazy promotions right now as they're trying to regain new customers, and at least that aspect feels healthy. At least we have 3 players, right? It's not just 2, but those are some of my thoughts right now. Shiny is saying US Mobile changed the game for me. It is a pretty good carrier, really cool features. The multi-network feature, I think, is something I'm keen to add. Max is saying US Cellular's value proposition vanished as soon as carriers started building 5G in rural markets. Yeah, it's true. It's true. I think they were having a hard time keeping up with what the big carriers were able to offer. And I think the big carriers had more spectrum available. You can do, T-Mobile's doing their 5G home internet, delivering great speeds. I think US Cellular just wasn't in that kind of position to compete. I lose my 1v1s. Best plan for one line, unlimited talk and text, basic flip phone. I think we have a good answer for you. My suggestion that you consider is going to be US Mobile's $10 2 gig plan. This is available on either the AT&T, the T-Mobile, or the Verizon network. Your choice when you sign up, as long as your flip phone is compatible with the underlying network, it should just work. You can get that physical SIM card. $10, taxes and fees included. It's going to give you unlimited talk and text, and the little bit of data can be used for features such as group and picture messaging, visual voicemail. I think that's a really great option. You could technically go a little bit lower to the $8 a month option with the unlimited, the light plan. I think I would probably do just the 2 gig shared data plan, and that's because it includes international calling and texting, whereas that is an add-on for the light plan. So food for thought there. That does depend on what your needs are. Some other options I'm thinking of, I mean, Good to Go Mobile is also really cheap. Or, yeah, you could consider Helium. I think you could get a SIM card and set that up, and that would potentially be free. Let's go back here. And let's just do coverage. We'll uncheck that, and we'll do talk and text. And let's clear out US Mobile. You can do Tello. Tello's got a $5 plan, no data, 100 minutes, unlimited texts. I think if you bump it up to like $6, here it is, excuse me, $8. I mean, here's the thing though. Tello, $8 plus tax. Let's go ahead, toggle on taxes and fees. That'll come out to $10.87 a month, at least in my area. So you're better off with US Mobile's plan. You'll save money and get the talk and text you need. Mobile X Custom could be a good option. They do have I think it's like a $4.95 package for unlimited talk and text on the Verizon network. However, they also charge a platform fee and taxes and fees. Maybe it'll be like $8 or $9 a month when it's all said or done. So could be a good option. But yeah, in my mind, I think it's hard to beat US Mobile's just simple $10 flat, unlimited talk and text, and data for some of those features. D-Sing, I think, says, I think you need a smartphone for Helium. I think you might be right on that. Well, at least you need one to sign up. 5G flip phones do not exist. That is crazy to think about. You're absolutely right. It's for my mom. I'll look at US Mobile. Thank you. Yeah, you're very welcome. Hopefully that helps. And what I really like is, again, you can pick what network you want for coverage. Thoughts on T-Mobile beginning to retire LTE soon? I mean, it's only natural, right? And T-Mobile's 5G network is so robust, it's almost kind of wasted having resources allocated between like an LTE and a 5G network. And on T-Mobile's network specifically, I don't think they're making those kind of deals with auto manufacturers. There's fewer devices that they need to support that are on legacy networks. They are kind of posed to really migrate everything over to 5G as quickly as possible. And this will expand the performance, right? They can allocate all of their spectrum to 5G and improve speeds, improve performance, improve coverage. I think it's a good move. I think it's a really good move. And I'm excited to see it. It will take a long time. Even if they start migrating certain resources here and there, the full transition, I think, to a 5G standalone network on T-Mobile will take some time. And as a matter of fact, I was just testing out, here it is. Actually, I couldn't tell which one it is. These all are gray blocks. It's this one. I was testing out the iPhone 12 this morning, and I think I can actually show you on stream. It turns out it does not support 5G standalone. Yeah, absolutely. On the T-Mobile network. So here we have the iPhone 12, and you can see the lack of focusing capabilities of my Logitech webcam. Oh man, I should get like a Sony camera or something. Come on, Logitech, you can do it. Bam. You can see 5G, what does that say? 5G auto, 5G on, and LTE. There is no 5G standalone toggle. If I check the next generation up, the iPhone 13 Pro, let's go ahead and boost that brightness a little bit. We pop into settings here, and it has to be on 5G. Yep. You can see when you're on 5G, you do have that option on the iPhone 13 Pro. You can see that 5G standalone toggle. And so this means that the iPhone 12 Pro, at least as I understand it, wow, there it is. iPhone 12 Pro users are still relying on some capacity of LTE to stay connected. And that could mean kind of a longer transition there. And just to show you, even if I toggle that 12 Pro to 5G on, there's no 5G standalone toggle. So something interesting. Kevin, thank you so much for your generosity and support. What do you think of the annual promo from US Mobile? Yeah, Kevin, this is my preferred deal, I think, that US Mobile has offered. So when I did this one, I signed up for, I actually can't even remember. I think I did unlimited starter on the T-Mobile network because that's what I needed. Or it was unlimited premium on T-Mobile, one of the two. But I really like this because it's available on all networks. You just use code SUPER299. It is annual, and that means when this plan auto renews, it will auto renew at that full annual price. I think it's $32.50 a month. So let's go ahead and do some quick math here. $32.50 times 12 months, $390 upfront. So definitely worth keeping in mind. $390 upfront for this one, and then $22.50 times 12. $270 upfront for the unlimited starter line. So after that year, it is worth keeping in mind that you'll renew at the regular annual rate. It is such a good value though, and even at the regular full price, you're going to be saving so much money versus any postpaid carrier and a lot of other prepaid carriers as well. I mean, we were just doing that Red Pocket, here it is, Red Pocket versus US Mobile analysis. You're getting more features, more data at a better price with US Mobile. So it's a good value. I don't know how they swung it, if they're really good at negotiating deals or agreements with their partner carriers or what, but this is a fantastic promotion. One I would definitely consider taking advantage of personally if you're looking for a new line of service. It's actually gotten to the point where I'm like, should I just leave US Mobile preemptively, like middle of next year, in preparation for their epic sort of holiday deal promos that they have? But yeah, probably not worth the hassle in my opinion. And I like getting the end of year stats. That's my absolute favorite thing. It's like Spotify Wrapped, but for your cell phone bill, like how many texts you sent, how many minutes you spent calling. I love it. I absolutely love it. So yeah, Kevin, hopefully that is helpful. I think this is a fantastic deal. And they might even, they're even doing unlimited premium monthly, $35 a month if you prefer to pay month to month for your service. And it is going to be all networks, code SUPER35. Gosh. Hard to beat. Tommy is saying, this is back to the flip phone. Helium doesn't require location anymore, so a flip phone could work. I do think you might need a smartphone to sign up and get that SIM card active initially. But Tommy, I think you're right. Once you have an active SIM card, I think you're free to just put it in whatever phone you want, and it should just work. And as long as you're using a little bit of data each month, which should be pretty easy if you have it in an active device, then that will be free. And just to kind of bring up the Helium Mobile plan, which I guess is toggled as or tagged as a 3 gig plan, because it technically comes with 3 gigs of data. You're getting 100 minutes and 300 texts. That will be okay for some people. 100 minutes might be too low. I know for me, I talked to a friend. We talked for an hour, maybe 2 hours. I was just talking to my buddy Gabe yesterday, and I think we talked for over 2 hours. And that would have blown through the 100 minutes there. And the texts, they can go by quickly, especially if you're using group chat. But also for my mom, I don't think she's sending 300 texts a month. So it could be a really good option as well. And hard to beat the price of free, right? And then I think Good to Go Mobile, this is another one that could be a good fit. Their annual option, let's throw on that taxes and fees toggle. This is kind of a little bit broken, so if we toggle that, let's call it $7 a month flat. Honestly, not bad. AT&T or T-Mobile for coverage. I think your choice when you sign up, it might default to AT&T, and you are just getting unlimited minutes and unlimited texts, and that should be pretty good, and a gig of data. Yeah, could be worth checking out. CJ, thank you so much for your generosity and support. I asked you on Reddit about reviewing US Mobile's home phone service. You said it would be added to the project list. How big is that backlog? CJ, it is massive, unfortunately. And it keeps getting bigger because I have so many wonderful suggestions from people such as yourself on different videos to make and to do. The ones that I personally want to make first. So cheapest way to get an iPhone 17 Pro Max that hasn't been forgotten. I know it's been a while. Borderline, the iPhone's like not even being talked about anymore, it feels like, because it came out last month. Everyone already got it. But I am committed. I will make the video. What's funny is when you see a final video, it looks so easy and effortless. And that's the point. That's the goal. But for me, like thinking of how I want to present the information, how to lay out and create the graphics for the slides, that is an evolving process. And I was actually going to bed the other night and I had this, what I think is a great new idea on how to present the information. So I'm very excited to implement that. Anyway, cheapest way to get an iPhone 17 Pro Max. I am doing that epic cellular modem speed test video. I was actually just up this morning at an ungodly hour collecting some data points. Let me see if I can show you because I think it's pretty cool. Just go to my Google Drive here quickly, and it is the cellular modem analysis. Pop this up on stream. I don't know when this is going to be ready to go at all, but I'm hoping by the end of November. Share screen, window, here it is. So this is a really cool, what I think is a really cool analysis of cellular modem performance. Right now you're looking at if we go back, so I went back to Planet Fitness and I did the other devices. So now I'm starting to collect data. We have the iPhone 17 Pro, 16e, 15 Pro, iPhone Air, 16 Pro, 14 Pro, 13 Pro, and 12 Pro. And you can really start to see the difference in these speeds. So we're looking at the median performance right now in a 5G UC area going from 875 on that iPhone 12. Like it was a slow phone. Bumping up to that iPhone 13 with that, what was it, like Qualcomm X60 modem, I think. Speeds significantly faster, 1100 megabits per second. 14 Pro creeping up on 1200 megabits per second. 16 Pro, 1289 megabits per second. iPhone Air 1382. The 15 Pro Max over 1400 megabits per second. Really cool to see that performance. And that's the median. If we also look at Max, you can kind of see how they all stack up. And just really cool to see like the evolution of cellular modem performance on the iPhones and how the iPhone Air is really performing well with Apple's C1X modem. And this is just one location. If we pop over, I did Roosevelt Park is the other one. And again, kind of similar story. I guess iPhone Air a little bit slower here. 16e, here, I'll show you down here, had an issue kind of grabbing that, I guess, aggregating another available band. iPhone 12 is still in rock bottom though. And really cool to see that upload performance as well, right? Like the 14 Pro, 16e, 13 Pro, and iPhone 15 Pro kind of in that 100 megabit per second range. And then bam, with the iPhone Air and iPhone 17 Pro Max, jumping up to that 150 range. And iPhone 16 Pro surprisingly hit 200 for its max upload. Pop this down to median and still pretty much the same order there. Anyway, so this is another video project I'm working on. And there's so many more. Like, it could be a great time to refresh my top picks for the best unlimited plans. I was actually just working on that on the Best Phone Plan site, getting those updated as well, kind of based on feedback from you guys. So it is a backlog. It is a backlog. I've not forgotten it, CJ. It's on the list, but I have no guarantees, unfortunately. Nexus is saying you should come to Puerto Rico to test our networks. Would be a fun trip and video, to be honest. Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, that's like a vacation and video all in one. That's what I like to hear. That is a business expense, if I've ever heard one. Can write off all the travel expenses and then experience the wonderful place that is Puerto Rico. My question, Nexus, when is the best time of year to visit Puerto Rico? I think I've heard there's like a pretty big rain season, and that could put a damper perhaps on cellular network testing, but very curious when the best time would be to go down there. Sean, forgive me, Sean, I skipped your super chat. Not my intention. Let me go ahead and find it for you. All right, so Green, Tyler, Kevin, Sean, there we go. Sorry about that. Thank you so much for your patience. Looking for network for 2 devices. What is the best option between Visible and Google Fi? So glad I caught you live. Yeah, Sean, my take here, look, Google Fi, it's good. It will be more expensive. If I were in your shoes, I would go with Visible. And Visible has a promo going on right now that's going to save you a whole bunch of money, which you can't see because someone managing this stream, aka me, messed up the window sharing. So let me go ahead and pop this one back on. Boom, we are cooking with gas. Oops. Like I said, we're cooking with gas. If you hit up the Visible website, you can see they are currently doing a promo on all their plans, actually. So if we go to plans, check out our plans. Instead of the regular prices of $25, $35, and $45, you can currently get a discount on all of Visible's plans. You can save $6 off of Visible Base, bringing that monthly price down to $19. You can save $9 off of Visible Plus, bringing that monthly price down to $26. And you can save $12 off of Visible Plus Pro, bringing that monthly price down to just $33 per line per month. And for 2 devices, I'm curious, I guess it doesn't even matter. Like, for 1 or 2 lines, this I think will be your best option. I mean, you're looking at most $66 a month flat for the most premium Visible Plus Pro plan. Unlimited priority data, unlimited hotspot data, full 4K video streaming on 5G ultra wideband. Best value, probably the plan I would sign up for is the regular Visible Plus plan, $26 a month. I mean, you're looking at $52 a month for your 2 lines. That is so good. And again, unlimited premium data on Verizon's network, same exact network experience as Verizon postpaid, 1080p video streaming, which is still very good. You're also getting unlimited hotspot at 10 megabits per second and some decent international features as well. Only reason that you would want to go with Visible Plus Pro is to get the smartwatch line included. Where is that? Wow, smartwatch service included. This is why I built my own website. Look at this. Visible. Wait, we're going to have to clear, I think. Reset. 1 line. Visible Plus Pro. Oh, so much more beautiful. And now you can see the hotspot speed. So 15 megabits per second hotspot. There's that 4K and the included watch line. Google Fi. Not necessarily bad, but going to be more expensive. So if we do Google Fi here, and look, you can do Google Fi Unlimited Essentials. Not a plan I would recommend. The 50% off BYOD promo I think has expired, and it is priority data, QCI 6 on T-Mobile, but no hotspot. That's going to be a deal breaker for me, though it does include a free watch line. If you were to upgrade to, let me actually pull up the 2-line pricing here because that's what you're going to be most curious about. If you were to upgrade to the standard, $80 a month plus tax. Again, not necessarily horrible. Tax is probably going to be like $7 per line though, so probably like $94 a month. Way more than what Visible is offering. Still a decent value, 50 gigs priority, 25 gigs hotspot, lower resolution video streaming though, but you do get that smartwatch line included for free, and you get some international features as well. Bumping up to unlimited premium, I mean, this is an expensive plan, over $100 a month, probably around twice the cost of Visible at this point. Plus, you got to add in those taxes and fees. It is 100 gigs of priority, though, 50 gigs of hotspot, which is super nice, and you can get a smartwatch and a tablet line, both included for free. So, yeah, Sean, I'm in your shoes. Not going to lie, I'm going Visible all day, every day. This promo is unbeatable. The best value plans available on the Verizon network right now. The only other plan you might consider that I haven't looked in the chat, but I feel like I can see a few people typing, would be US Mobile, right? So you can grab unlimited starter. And what's really nice about US Mobile, so with Visible, it turns out each line will need its own separate account. Not necessarily a deal breaker with only 2 devices, but each device would need its own account. With US Mobile, they make it so it's much easier to manage all lines under a single account, and that's really nice. And then US Mobile also offers their multi-network add-on. So let's say you sign up on Unlimited Starter on the Dark Star network, that's going to be AT&T. For $10 extra, you can get a secondary eSIM that is going to give you a new number and that line will give you 100 gigs, I think it's 100 gigs of multi-network data on another network of your choice. So you basically sign up on Darkstar AT&T, you could then get that $10 add-on on Verizon, and you would have 2 networks for $35 a month on a single device. And that is pretty cool as well. And US Mobile does support the smartwatch, but is only available on the Verizon network, so that is worth keeping in mind. But yeah, I think price to performance between the two you asked, I'm going Visible all day, every day. So Sean, I hope that is helpful. And again, thanks to your patience as I accidentally skipped over that. Can you clarify Visible roaming versus Verizon roaming? Yeah, Luke, fantastic question. So what is domestic roaming? Domestic roaming is when you're in a location in the United States where your native network does not have coverage. And instead of using your primary network for coverage, your phone then roams on a partner network for coverage. And Visible actually gives you a really clear map of this on their site. So if you go to Visible's site here and you go to, plans, see our coverage, here we go. You go to the coverage map and we zoom in. I guess let me zoom the page in and we can use this map. You zoom in on the map and you're going to notice you get some more detail. You're going to have 3 shades. You're going to have, I'm going to call this kind of a lavender shade. Does that sound right? You have this sort of bluish purple shade. I'm going to call that blue. And you have this sort of teal shade. And this lavender shade here, this is what they're calling their extended network. This, it turns out, is actually a roaming network. So this is where Visible is going to be roaming on a partner network for coverage. You can see a big area in Kentucky. There's going to be one here. I guess that's North Carolina. There's some way out in the west here. Look, there's a big one. I think that's Utah. Yep. There's one. Oh, it looks like maybe not in this area. I think there's a couple up in Wisconsin as well. Yeah, so there's one in Wisconsin. They're all over the place, is the bottom line. And that's going to be roaming, I think, on Verizon's LTE IRA roaming partners. And if you go to the Verizon coverage map, it'll show you something similar. We are not going to use my location right now, although thank you for the kind offer, Verizon. We're going to wait for a hot minute for the map to load in. Still loading. Just want to point out, it's a pretty quick map, And for reference, for coverage map, if you were to go to networks, just pop this over to Verizon. This is showing the native Verizon network that all carriers get access to. So this is going to be Verizon. It'll be Verizon prepaid, postpaid. And you actually kind of see this area of Kentucky, massive gap on this map. And that is where you have that roaming agreement in the Visible map, and as we'll soon see, the Verizon map. But anyway, this is great for showing the native network. On the Verizon map, which is somehow even more narrow than Visible's map, let's go ahead and sort of zoom in and position this. Similar thing. except instead of sort of blue and teal, you're getting this, it looks like they're not even listing it. They're just like, yep, that's our coverage. They're saying satellite SMS. That's crazy. Well, I was kind of hoping you would see the roaming agreements, but it looks like Verizon has sort of hidden or obfuscated that from their native coverage map here. But my understanding, Luke, to answer your question, is I think it's the same. I think Visible is getting pretty much the same access as Verizon postpaid. I don't think there's a difference. Feel free to correct me in the chat if I am mistaken on that. I'm just trying to see. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's pretty good. All right, so I hope that is helpful, Luke. I do think the roaming is very, very similar, if not exactly the same, between Visible and Verizon, but there might be some minor differences in some regional parts of the country that I wish I knew more about, but candidly do not. So I hope that is at least somewhat helpful. All right, we have a super chat coming in. Hey, Stetson, just got here and I am new around here. Welcome, wonderful, great to have you visiting the live stream. I live in New York City, beautiful place, and I've had Verizon for the past 5 years. Not happy, and it's gotten worse year after year. Which carrier would you recommend for me? Well, I'm kind of surprised in New York City that Verizon is getting worse. I'd be curious to hear what specific plan you are on, as sometimes priority level can come into play in a bigger city. I will say, let me find my mouse here. It's escaped me. If we look up, so we can do a couple things here. If we look up New York City in the coverage map lookup, so New York, New York. I think it's going to be this one, New York, New York County, New York, New York. So you can see coverage very similar across all the different carriers here, 95.1, 100, 95.1. Median download speeds, T-Mobile looking the fastest. Verizon in second, so kind of surprised you're still experiencing lower speeds. And AT&T in third. Again, could be related to priority. And then look at that Dish, the poor Dish network getting turned off. Again, looking at coverage, it's pretty much going to be excellent. So really what you want to do is probably check the coverage map. And it kind of depends what spot of New York you're in, I guess. New York City will have really robust coverage on pretty much all the networks. But if we zoom in, all right, here's something really cool with New York. You can go ahead, not only enable the 0.03 kilometer squares for an even finer look, we also have for pro subscribers the 0.1 kilometer square, which really lets you zoom in. And New York is one of the only places where it's still pretty well built out. So this is the T-Mobile network right now, and you can see excellent speeds on the T-Mobile network, ranging from 160 megabits per second to over 1,000 megabits per second. If we pop over to Verizon, here's why I am surprised. I mean, Verizon is getting, I guess there's some areas that are a little bit slower, but then you get some areas that are hitting over 2,000 megabits per second, right? So still generally, I think, pretty fast. Maybe it depends a little bit more where you are. We pop over to AT&T. Similar story, still very fast, over like 2,400 megabits per second here, 350, 400. But likely will depend where you are, and we can go ahead and kind of chunk up the squares a little bit to give a sort of better breakdown, if you will. Yeah, it seems really good. And if we color these by best, this is going to show the carrier with the best performance in each square. You can see T-Mobile looks like it is kind of dominating a lot of these squares. So if I were in your shoes, Morthoy, forgive me if I mispronounced that, I would strongly consider giving T-Mobile a shot, or if it turns out you're on a deprioritized Verizon plan, such as Verizon Unlimited Welcome, it might be worth considering switching to Visible, not only for the better price and the crazy offer they have right now, but if you grab that Visible Plus or Visible Plus Pro plan, you're getting priority data, and that can sometimes help improve speeds and performance if the network is feeling slow. But otherwise, I think T-Mobile, they are really shining in the New York area. I'd probably give them a try. And best option for T-Mobile right now, I think, is going to be US Mobile Unlimited Premium for $35, Unlimited Starter for $25. Or if you want to full send it, probably not. I would If I were in your shoes, I would sign up for a new number on a monthly plan, pay the $25, test out US Mobile on the Lightspeed network. That's going to be T-Mobile. If it works, boom, you're going to be all set to take advantage of one of these promos and get a crazy good deal on service. So that is definitely, I think, what I'd recommend for you, and I hope that's helpful. Daniel's saying, looks like T-Mobile is really solid in the New York City area. Daniel, I think you're absolutely correct. Tribute to Dish. I know. We miss it. We miss it. What is the best T-Mobile MVNO so far? SpongeBob, it turns out we have covered this, and I'll give the quick two-word answer. US Mobile, I think, is the best T-Mobile MVNO so far. Runner-up would be Mint, but with Mint's pricing right now, it turns out you can just get a better plan from US Mobile at about the same price. So, especially if you're looking at the annual option. I mean, look, US Mobile, unlimited premium, unlimited high-speed data, 50 gigs of hotspot, 4K video streaming for $24.90 per month. If you wanted the same thing from Mint, it's going to be closer to $33 a month with the annual option. So I think US Mobile is my top pick right now. Sean, thanks, super helpful. Now Visible or US Mobile? LOL. Yeah, it kind of depends. I mean, what I would do, Sean, if I were in your shoes, let me go over here. I would probably go ahead and check the coverage map website, right? Like, go ahead, go to the coverage search, and I'll just throw this in the chat for anyone who's curious and wants to look up coverage in their location. Go ahead, go to the coverage map site, enter your state, city, county, or zip code. If you let me know in the chat what it is, I'll do it for you live here. But let's say we're going to, where do you guys want to travel to? How about Anchorage? Oh, do I know how to spell Anchorage? Let's go to Anchor, McLean County, Illinois, because I don't know how to spell Anchorage, Alaska. Well, we went to rural, not tested, everybody. It is not tested. Ron B giving us an example. We'll use yours, Ron. So 78, 75, 9. Usually these do have Austin. Oh, Austin's great. Yeah. So 100% coverage across the board, and you can see the speeds. And what you want to look for is, okay, US Mobile is going to give you the flexibility to choose any network. Visible is going to be on Verizon. I think if you want Verizon, Visible is probably the better move, best value, and is probably like worth doing. But if you want AT&T or T-Mobile or that multi-network add-on, then US Mobile would probably make sense. So Sean, boom, coming in clutch, 45, 23, 1. Let's see where we're zooming into here. Let me zoom out, coverage search, add this back, 45, 23, 1. I feel like, here we go. Ohio, wow, all right, let's zoom in. Whoa, all right, whoa. That's all I can say, Sean. So not sure what your experience has been, but based on our crowdsourced data, we're seeing 100% coverage across the board. T-Mobile in first place, 382.4 megabits per second down. AT&T in second place, 204 megabits per second down. Verizon in third place, 111.5 megabits per second down. You're also seeing 10 out of 10 reliability score for T-Mobile and AT&T, Verizon 8.9 out of 10. Strongly suggesting AT&T or T-Mobile may be the better performers in your specific market. Now we can scroll down, we can see that coverage breakdown, and T-Mobile looks very solid. Verizon also looks pretty good. AT&T, it does look good, but worth noting, a little bit more good coverage and some poor coverage there versus T-Mobile saying they've got 95.9% great coverage. I think the real thing though, it's going to be the map. So let's copy this. Let's pop over to the map. Let's see what we got cooking. What are people saying in Mount Healthy, Ohio? So I was like, wait, what's going on? Where are the squares? Let's go to AT&T, best download, and just do the regular carrier colors. It looks like AT&T has deployed its mid-band 5G spectrum there. Really good speeds and performance, at least from people driving through the area. That's great to see. If we go ahead and pop over to T-Mobile, we're still seeing, 5G UC looks like it's rolled out in your market, so should be quite fast. And Verizon, It looks like just less data overall, and that could be a contributing factor. So if you want to, Sean, if you want to sign up for Visible and run a bunch of speed tests and get some data on the map, that'd be pretty cool. But I mean, based on the crowdsourced data, it did look like T-Mobile or AT&T were going to be a little bit faster. Looking at the signal strength now, Verizon, I mean, looks like blanketed, popping over to T-Mobile, blanketed, AT&T blanketed. Yeah, probably, honestly, probably hard to go wrong. I mean, based on this, though, you may get slightly better performance on the T-Mobile network. And in that scenario, it might not be a bad move to go with US Mobile Unlimited Premium. You can consider that annual version, or if you wanted to do the monthly, $35 a month, or just try it out, right? And kind of depends how much data you need. Worth mentioning. So you can see the full breakdown on my site. This US Mobile, I love them. And the worst part about them is the features vary by network, and they have this massive table to compare everything. Maybe you're a table person and this makes sense to you. You can toggle between the different networks and see how the features compare. But my gosh, that drives me crazy. So anyway, you can go to my site, bestphoneplans.net, and if you just search for US Mobile here, you're going to see all the US Mobile plans, and I break them out by network. So you can see, for example, let's actually scroll past the sponsored section. Yeah, so US Mobile Unlimited Starter Lightspeed, so that's going to be T-Mobile, and then US Mobile Unlimited Starter Warp, that's going to be Verizon. And you can go ahead and take a look at exactly what features are included in those specific versions of the plans. You'll notice some differences in countries, for example, supported for international, and then again, that smartwatch support only available on Verizon, and some minor differences in the high-speed data allotment. If you're doing Lightspeed or Warp, T-Mobile Verizon, you're getting 70 gigs versus the Dark Star plan. This is going to be truly unlimited. So, food for thought. But yeah, I would probably consider T-Mobile if I were in your shoes. Tommy, woohoo, spreadsheets. Tommy, shout out to you. I do know you love spreadsheets. You're a spreadsheet wizard over there. Absolutely cooking. Mano? Forgive me if I mispronounced that. How can I see the speed numbers on the map for 20186? I got you. So this is really cool. Coverage search. We'll give you the full breakdown here. 20186. We're going to Virginia, everybody. It's funny. I feel like I get to travel with you guys, and that's awesome. Getting my passport stamps. I guess not really, because it's domestic travel. Either way. Looking at the results here, T-Mobile 84.4% coverage, but the fastest speeds. Verizon 99.7% coverage, okay median download speeds. AT&T 100% coverage, but the slowest speeds, although not by much, right? You compare these two, probably very, very similar. Look at the breakdown, wild. So we have great coverage, good coverage, poor coverage. AT&T is saying they've got, what is that, 50, probably, let's round up, call it 60% of good and great coverage. T-Mobile looking like a little bit lower, 46%, maybe 47% good and great coverage. Verizon actually looks like the most good and great coverage. What is that, 74%. So could lean a little bit towards Verizon here, but depends a little bit on speeds. And to answer your specific question here, if you go to the map and we'll pop in your zip code and we'll go to Virginia, zoom in, absolutely amazing. I mean, you can see, wow, like the main, I'm assuming this is the main town or city, seems to be covered quite well. A couple of towers are popped up. That's AT&T. Here's T-Mobile. Looks like T-Mobile just one tower and perhaps running into some issues around the outskirts of town, depending on how far you're traveling and where you're going. Could be worth keeping in mind. And Verizon, man, Verizon also kind of just in town, perhaps running into some lower coverage areas. AT&T, whether true or not, definitely the most optimistic about their coverage. And to get those speeds, just pop over to the speed test map, and let's go ahead and increase these a little bit. So we're looking at 0.3, we'll look at 0.1. And if you just zoom in and make sure the show map values toggle is on, and that's going to turn those on. And by the way, these are all clickable. So you can just click any square. You'll see the performance, what people are getting for download, upload. This is from July 31st, 2025. So actually quite recent data. I can kind of zoom in so you can see that a little bit better. This one is going to be August from 2023. So it looks like Verizon rolled out some network improvements. This one might be older if it's slower. 2021. Yeah. So some of the slower ones are a little bit older. Wow, it'd be really nice if we had a date filter, wouldn't it, everybody? 2021. But yeah, this is how you see the square values and kind of just gauge what performance is like. If we pop over to the T-Mobile network, it looks like they do have 5G UC 549. That is March 7th, 2024. And then this one is going to be 2021 again. So some big improvements. Yeah. Anyway, I hope that's helpful. That's how you see those square values and can kind of compare everything. What do you think about Visible Plus Pro for $22.50 a month for 6 months? Thinking of getting it. Then after the 6 months, see what the next best deals are after it is over. That is a great promotion. I think personally, if I were to sign up for promotion right now, it would be the Visible Plus Pro $33 a month. Now, I know what you're thinking. $33 is substantially more than $22.50. And you would be absolutely correct. You'd be absolutely correct. However, look at the savings, right? So for Visible Plus Pro, regular price is $45. So this is exactly half. And that means you're saving $22.50 per month for 6 months. And that will be, I think it's actually right in front of me, $135. So with this promo, you save $135. It's a good deal. It could be a great deal, especially if you only want something for 6 months. However, with this promotion, Visible Plus Pro, you're locking in $12 a month in savings, guaranteed for 26 months. 20 extra months. And it turns out getting 20 extra months of savings at $12 a month, 12 times 26, that is $312 in savings with this promotion over those full 26 months. So if I were you in your shoes, Fern Gully, I personally would opt for the Visible Plus Pro one and just ride that out. You'll end up getting more value and savings over time. Although, if you wanted to do Visible Plus Pro for 6 months, this could be a great option. And I mean, candidly, we saw Mint run their promo almost all year. Maybe it comes back, who knows? And then US Mobile, they've been running some sort of promo literally all year in some capacity. So may not be a bad idea, but switching carriers is also sometimes a bit of a hassle. And sometimes it's nice to just like pick an annual plan or get a great deal and just kind of cruise and not have to think about it, you know? Sometimes there's only so much you can lock in. All right, Alloy 89020. Yeah, we'll check that out for you. Add this to the live stream so you can see it. Where are we going? 89. I feel like West Coast. Nevada. That's close. Give myself a B- on that. This definitely seems perhaps a little bit more rural. And in fact, the black squares indicate no coverage. So someone was driving through here and it's confirmed that there is in fact no T-Mobile coverage. I'm curious. If we overlay, so let's go to the signal strength and pop over to T-Mobile. Is this accurate? It's close. I mean, you can see the highway here is definitely on the edge, and what this person was saying is like, hey, yeah, we're actually not connecting right now. Now it could have been a bug or whatever, but it looks like these are pretty slow speeds to begin with. Yeah, 3, 9, 20, 12, 27, 28, 15. Anyway, it looks like this is more rural, so let's go ahead. T-Mobile. Do we have anything AT&T? All right, someone has driven through with AT&T. Looks a little bit better, a little bit more promising. 46, 45, 31. Okay, oops, sorry, I zoomed way far out. That's the power of the Logitech MX3. Verizon. Oh, Verizon looks really good. Definitely more consistent, more robust on this highway. So I'm not 100% sure. Let's go ahead, pop into the signal strength maps here. Looks like T-Mobile does have a tower in town, so likely very good coverage on T-Mobile. If we pop over to AT&T, similar story, probably the same tower to be honest with you. And then another one over there. And then Verizon. Yeah, it looks like Verizon looks like it might be in a different spot. Hang on. AT&T. AT&T is kind of over here. Oh my gosh, are there 3 separate towers? So it looks like T-Mobile and Verizon are sharing a tower, excuse me. And then AT&T is kind of doing their own thing. Yeah, kind of hard to say. I think Ollie, it might be up to you to sign up and run some tests and contribute to people in your area and let them know which one is best. High probability anyone will work, given that they all have towers kind of in the center of town there. If I were in your shoes, just based on what we saw on the highway, I would probably lean a little bit more towards Verizon. I hope that's helpful. Musty is asking, any noticeable differences in your testing between the 15 Pro and 17 Pro? That is a fantastic question. Let me see, where did that spreadsheet go? Oh, it looks like I closed it. Classic. I don't think so, is kind of the bottom line. I mean, I think the bigger differences might be in areas with weak signal. And I have kind of yet to extensively test that because it's kind of hard to test. You got to find an area with weak signal. Sometimes a phone, I guess that is partially the test, right? To see what the phones latch onto, what do they connect to, and what speeds they get. Here it is. For T-Mobile, it looks like the 15 Pro, it was actually getting the, so we'll look at median. Fastest median speed in this location, and then very good upload. 17 Pro was actually a little bit slower in this specific area, and then a little bit faster on that upload. So the newer modems might be a little bit better on the upload side of things. If we go ahead and pop into, let's go to Planet Fitness. The font updated, that's nice to see. 15 Pro, honestly hanging in there. Really like neck and neck, 20 megabit per second difference between the 15 Pro and the 17 Pro Max. Upload side of things, it does look like the 15 Pro in this specific area, I'm not sure if it's missing a technology to aggregate the bands. I don't think so, because I think the other one, it got faster speeds. But for whatever reason in this area, wasn't really pulling the fastest speeds. 16 Pro and 17 Pro really got fast speeds for that upload. That's, I mean, for Planet Fitness, I mean, we are right next to that tower. So honestly surprised. Maybe you'll see kind of a benefit on the upload side of things. Let's go back. Roosevelt, am I missing anything? No, it actually, that seems pretty consistent, right? It was kind of peaking at 100 megabits per second, and the newer modems were getting faster speeds. So that is fascinating. So that's T-Mobile. If we pop into LTE quickly, 15 Pro had, I don't know, just had a bad day for that upload. Download right in the middle of the pack. I think very little difference there. If we go back to Planet Fitness, same story. 15 Pro, okay, sure, it's at the bottom of the pack, but like 368 versus 400 megabits per second, I think you're going to be fine. Upload did look like it struggled a little bit on LTE as well, so that's kind of interesting to see. But either way, 8 versus 15 megabits per second, I don't even think you're going to connect to LTE that much on T-Mobile. If we pop over to Verizon, makes me excited to test this out. Where do we want to go? Dermatology Center of the Rockies, and forget LTE, let's go 5G. Looking at the median here, 15 Pro, 1600 down versus 1800. Looks like a little bit of an improvement, but not too much there. And then for the upload, this is surprising. Upload 86 on that upload versus the 17 Pro Max getting 224. So 5G upload seems to be where you get the most improvement, potentially going from that 15 Pro to the 17 Pro Max. And this is just, again, median. Let's go ahead. We can do LTE quickly. 15 Pro, honestly, number 2, so really good there. And then 15 Pro, great for the upload as well. Wouldn't even worry about that. Let's go back to 5G. Let's go to, let's see. I've not done, I think I've just done the modern day Alchemy one. So this is millimeter wave. Millimeter wave wise, 15 Pro actually topped the charts on my millimeter wave testing with median download and upload. 15 Pro, second place, 430 megabits per second up. Seems to be a strong performer on Verizon LTE and 5G, although it will depend, again, if you're doing sort of C-band or whatnot. Let's just do max performance. Again, 15 Pro, it got the fastest max speed, 4,255 megabits per second on the download, and still great on the upload. tying the 16 Pro. And the 17 Pro Max, I don't know if it was having an off day or what, but its max upload, 179.73 megabits per second. So I would say biggest difference, it looks like T-Mobile upload and a little bit on the download side of things as well. And of course, have more testing to do because I want to go to more locations. And I mean, I heard feedback, maybe I should go back to the same locations and get more tests because I'm only running 5 tests on each phone. And it might be worth running more. But anyway, Musty, I hope that's helpful. I love this. I think it's super cool. I'm very excited to see what the results are and excited to run AT&T. I think I'm going to do one more T-Mobile spot tomorrow, and that should be good. And then maybe a low coverage test as well. Oh, that's actually a great point. I don't think I've done... Yeah, sadly, I have not done the 15 Pro in a low coverage zone yet. So no data yet. TBD. Joe, the link to the spreadsheet, that will come when the video comes. This one, I'm holding on for a little bit. Thank you. I appreciate that. Kevster04, I'm with Verizon and live in Connecticut. Excuse me, live. I was like, oh, he's also live. That's cool. No, I'm with Verizon and live in Connecticut in a rural area. I feel like T-Mobile users around me all have faster 5G than me. Is it true? Thinking about maybe switching, which will save me money too. I have heard T-Mobile is quite good in sort of rural New England. Let me actually go ahead and stop the screen, add the new screen, which is, bam, this one. I mean, let's find out. Pop over here, travel over. Not sure what part of Connecticut would be considered rural, but I mean, let's just do big picture, right? Let's see if we can get some larger squares on the board. Let's do 0.5, maybe 15. All right, we got some massive squares on the board. If we do color profile best, I mean, like, need I say more? Take a look at that. Take a gander. I would love to get some numbers on these, but yeah, this looks really good for T-Mobile. Great sign, 1200 down. That's awesome. Yeah, really, really nice. Kevster, I think high probability. I think you're going to want to use the map. Go ahead, check your area, see what's cooking. I do think it could be worth experimenting with. And you're like, how do I try out T-Mobile? T-Mobile does have a free trial. If your phone is unlocked, then you can go ahead and take advantage of this. Free eSIM trial, data only. You get 30 days. I think it used to be unlimited, but it might have like 30 gigs or something now, or maybe it still is unlimited. But you can use the T-Life app and test it out. And then based on your findings, you can either switch directly to T-Mobile, or as we've talked about on this live stream, I think US Mobile is the best T-Mobile MVNO. Awesome multi-line support, great options, great features, and you could potentially save a whole lot of money. So I hope that's helpful. Are there any stats on how often Visible Plus is deprioritized? Yeah, Dave, we do have stats, and it is 0%. It's never. Turns out Visible Plus includes truly unlimited priority data, so you will never be slowed down based on how much data you use. You will be getting the exact same priority level as a Verizon postpaid customer. Now that said, I'm trying to think which phone in front of me and within arm's reach has Verizon. Let's go ahead and 14 Pro. Does anyone see the 15 Pro? Do you guys see that anywhere? Here it is. Good eye. Thanks for pointing that out. If you are a Verizon Unlimited Ultimate customer, specifically, you will get access to Verizon's 5G standalone network. Oh, I switched it off. So on this phone, this is the thing. This is like so ridiculous. You have so many phones, and I like lost my eSIM, and it's on one of these. I should probably start putting like tape on the back of them or something. Nope. All right, now I'm genuinely perplexed. Okay. Well, anyway, the bottom line is Verizon Unlimited Ultimate will get 5G standalone. And I think that may impact the performance under some scenarios and certain circumstances. It is also worth noting Verizon Unlimited Ultimate gets its own, like, hang on, Verizon Unlimited Ultimate network slice for video calls. Boom. We do have a proper press release here. This is like one of the few minor differences I genuinely doubt people will notice, but Verizon is saying that they are redefining clear connections on the go with the launch of enhanced video calling. And this is basically using an intelligent network feature called network slicing to make sure that you have real-time video that works. And it is on the, I guess when this press release launched, it was only available for the unlimited. Oh yeah, here it is. Unlimited Ultimate. So if you have Unlimited Ultimate, you will get this, and that may impact your video call. But otherwise, it's the same priority. It's the same. Visible Plus is getting QCI 8, and Unlimited Ultimate is QCI 8, so you are getting that. Gabriel, will T-Mobile cap your speeds or take away 5G access when on a VPN, or is it just an Android problem I am having? I think it might be an Android problem you are having. I've not heard of T-Mobile capping speeds or taking away 5G UC access. If you are no longer seeing 5G UC in the status bar, I think high probability you are still connected. The phone, for whatever reason, just may not be showing that icon. And then VPNs, I will say from my personal experience, sometimes have a lot slower speeds because the network traffic needs to be routed from your phone to the VPN server and then out to the broader internet and then back through the VPN server and back to your device. And that can cause a slowdown. So I think if you're having issues, it may be worth experimenting with a different VPN provider, or seeing if there's other troubleshooting steps, maybe selecting a different server that the VPN offers, or yeah, seeing if there's other troubleshooting steps that you could try to try and navigate that. Oh geez, 1 megabit per second. Yeah, I don't think I would try a different VPN provider. Usually it should be uncapped. Non-rev guy, what about Total? Does Verizon deprioritize? So for Total Wireless, we'll actually give you the full breakdown here. Very quick, very quick. Best phone plan site. It is somewhat satisfying, you guys, being able to plug your own website here. If we just do Total Wireless, we're going to get Total's 3 plans. We're looking at the 2-line pricing, so let's bop down to 1-line pricing. And worth mentioning that for Total, you can get 50% all of these plans with bring your own device, which makes them a great value. So non-rev guy, to answer your specific question, the Total base 5G unlimited plan, that one is going to be deprioritized. Same network experience as Visible Base and Verizon Unlimited Welcome, QCI 9. If you opt for Total 5G Unlimited or Total 5G Plus Unlimited, you're getting unlimited priority. So this is going to be QCI 8 priority data, same as Verizon Unlimited Plus, same as Verizon Unlimited Ultimate, same as Visible Plus, same as Visible Plus Pro. So both great value plans on the Verizon network with priority data. I would argue Visible a little bit better as opposed to 15 gigs of hotspot. You're getting unlimited hotspot at 10 megabits per second. Although slightly different add-ons, worth noting that Total 5G, you can get a $10 unlimited tablet line add-on. Really nice to have, but no smartwatch support. Visible is exactly flipped. Visible supports a smartwatch for $10 extra or is included for free in their Visible Plus Pro plan, whereas Total does not support that smartwatch. So I hope that's helpful. Shock Treatment Gaming. Hey Stetson, I have a question. Does Visible support 5G standalone in California? Oh man. There is a phone. I think it's this one. See, okay. Someone was saying I should color coordinate the wallpaper. I have color coordinated the cases in some capacity. So the red iPhone generally corresponds to the Verizon network. And here's what I mean. Oh, is this the one that also has Verizon on it? Yes, it does. All right, we are cooking. We are cooking. So check this out. This is Visible Plus Pro. And you can see 5G Auto, 5G LTE. That is what you see as a Visible Plus Pro customer. Now, if I go ahead and I toggle Visible Plus Pro off, and I toggle my Verizon Unlimited Ultimate line on, and I pop into the settings, you can see Verizon Unlimited Ultimate now has that all new out of focus. Come on, Logitech, this is your job. At some point, I'm going to get fed up with this and I will upgrade. I will figure something out. I will overcome the challenge that is the Logitech webcam. There it is. You can see that all new toggle 5G standalone. And I'm not sure how come Verizon appears to be restricting this to only their postpaid plans and specifically Unlimited Ultimate for my testing, but I guess I haven't tested the other ones. I do think that might make a difference and might help improve speeds and performance in certain scenarios and in certain markets. Does Visible support 5G standalone? For my device, it looks like it does not. It may be market dependent. I truthfully do not know in California. My best advice to you would be to hit Reddit. Actually, to Google search and then add Reddit at the end of it and see if someone has commented about that. Wow. Okay, well, so Gabriel, it sounds like without the VPN, or excuse me, with the VPN, it's like 100 instead of 800. When I turn off Surfshark 5G UC comes back. I'd be curious what device you're using and if you're able to get the network stats, because honestly, 100, that seems reasonable to me for a VPN, which maybe is crazy, but I wouldn't be surprised if the VPN itself is causing that slowdown. And then I don't think the VPN would impact your 5G UC. That's my understanding. It could, yeah, it could. I think it could drop the speeds from 800 to 100 though, easily. Yeah, Tommy is chiming in. It's most likely a VPN problem. Choose the highest speed server and turn it off temporarily. Yeah, see what's going on there. Clint, your speed tests, Stetson, your speed tests are interesting, but are not representative of the actual modem performance of the phones. They provide a snapshot of the modem and network performance at that time. Yeah, Clint, you're absolutely correct. I'm trying my best to compensate for that. So I have been out. I went out this morning at like 5 in the morning, right? When the network has a very low probability of experiencing any kind of network congestion. And that's when I'm running these tests. So when you see the results and the data here, most of these tests are between like 5, 6 in the morning when there's less likely to be network traffic. So that's what I'm trying to do. You're absolutely right, though. I mean, the networks are variable and it's fickle and they're hard to really nail down. But I mean, when you're looking at this kind of data, bam, it's usually so for specifically, so T-Mobile, for example, 5G, Planet Fitness, like these are all done at like 5:30 in the morning. So trying to alleviate network congestion, make sure that's not an issue. And I'm running 5 tests on each device and using the median. Of course, we can also filter by max if you're curious to see like the max performance. But yeah, I mean, there's a ton of variables. The servers can have variables. I mean, I selected the same server for all of these, but there's a lot of different factors that go into it. So you're absolutely right. Unfortunately, I don't have a better way to test. And on one hand, it's not the true modem performance. And on the other hand, it's kind of like, well, this is real world performance. This is how most people are going to be using their phones. So it's kind of cool to see how the modems stack up in that kind of environment. I do think, like, if I were to do this again, I think I would potentially consider. So what I've been doing, actually, I'd be curious, Clint, what you think about this. I've been going to multiple locations. So, right, like Planet Fitness and Roosevelt Park, these have more or less the same configuration and spectrum available. I'm wondering if it's worth, like, instead of going to multiple locations, I also did Garden Acres Park as well, but I've only done the 4 phones for the time being. I'd be curious, like, is it worth including the 3 different locations and doing 5 tests at each location? Or should I just pick one location, such as Planet Fitness, which gets some of the best performance, and run 15 tests on each phone? That would be my question. Like, what do you think? How would you approach that? I think it would be nice to get more data because that'll help kind of smooth out the numbers a little bit and, you know, give us a better median and potentially make the max even more interesting. But yeah, 15 tests in one location versus 5 tests in 3 locations. That is a question. That is a question. Closer to Clint is saying closer to 25. Interesting. There's more to say, but the real performance of the modems, you need specialized testing equipment. Yeah, you're absolutely correct. I don't have that. I wish I did. I get the real world, dirty, convoluted performance instead. Yeah. I mean, as you said, I get the snapshot. I get the snapshot of the modem and network at that time. 25 tests per location. Interesting. I'll see what I can do. To up that. Tommy is saying test across more locations. Oh gosh, Tommy, I'm going to be collecting data for months. Do you know how many speed tests I've run at this moment just to get to where we are today? If I go to raw, this is all the raw speed tests. And you can see, so I'm doing, I mean, they're well grouped together, right? Like here's that iPhone 16e, 5 there. Here's the 5 on the iPhone Air. And I'm done Verizon and T-Mobile. And I'm at 500, it'll be missing one. 534 tests is how many I've run so far. I can't imagine how much driving you're probably done to get these locations. Yeah, sometimes I'll try and cram in 3 in the morning, right? Like if I wake up at 5, it's probably like 30, 40 minutes to do a location. So I can do like 5 to 5:40, one location, 5:40 to maybe like 6:20, another location, 6:20 to like 7, a third location. And it does get risky. I think when you get into that 7 a.m. time zone, you're starting to, like, maybe people are waking up, maybe there's a little bit more network traffic, but I'm hoping not, and that's why we're using median, and there's also max available. So David, the carriers must love you, LOL. Yeah, David, I don't think they do. Should I check? What device would have the most data? Probably the 17 Pro Max here. So if I pop in and I go to my coverage map app, and theoretically this hasn't been reset yet. So if I just go to speed test settings, dang, this is only saying 23.7. That there's no way that's correct. That probably means I've like updated the app or deleted it or reinstalled it at some point. Let's check the iPhone Air. What does this say? iPhone Air cooking up. It's every time I open 142 gigs. That's not bad. It's surprising. Sometimes you can chew through a lot. I think my T-Mobile lines, they have used a lot of data. Yeah, dude, the early mornings are crazy. It's hard. And thankfully, yeah, Musty, thankfully, most of the locations are, 10 minutes away from where I live. So not too bad. Mostly just testing in Longmont. And I mean, driving to Denver, there's some mornings I'm like, all right, got to go to Denver, drive like 45, 50 minutes into Denver, find the millimeter wave site, run the tests, and then get out of there. Those are long mornings. That's for sure. Jordan, I think Verizon is worried about network abuse, so they monitor it more. AT&T and T-Mobile don't seem to care at all. I would agree with that. They probably have PTSD from Verizon LTE. Yeah, I think you're right. LTE on Verizon, I think that is where priority probably makes the most difference, and it's because it's probably the most congested network. And also, Clint, if you have other feedbacks or suggestions on how to improve the tests, definitely open to that. In regards to network prioritization, I've also tried to mitigate that. All of the plans have truly unlimited priority data. So, I mean, this is why I said I have 29, active lines. I'm using AT&T Unlimited Premium PL for AT&T, which I haven't used yet, but I will be using that. I'm using T-Mobile Experience More, and I'm using Verizon Unlimited Ultimate. So these are all proper postpaid plans with truly unlimited priority data. Theoretically, not running into network management issues. Again, combining that early morning with the priority data, hopefully trying to alleviate that. But you're right. It's not going to be scientific. It's as best as I can do. And if you have ideas on how to improve that, definitely open to suggestions. Although I have run a lot of tests, so I might just upload a version of what I've got and then improve it for other devices as well. David, you're absolutely correct. Those millimeter wave sites chew up data quickly. I wish I had more stats on how much data I've used. Anyways, Pixel 10 Pro and iPhone 17 Pro Max, which one do you like more and why? Johnny, I'm an iPhone guy. I like the 17 Pro Max a little bit more. Logitech, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? I'm an iPhone guy, so totally biased. iMessage, FaceTime, the apps that I use. I'm a big Fantastical user, and Fantastical is this incredible calendar app. And I love it. It's just like a delight to use, and I think it's a great experience across my Mac, my watch, and my iPad. And it's like little apps such as this that really just bring the iPhone experience together for me. I also like the consistency of the widgets on iPhone. Some people have pointed out they're not as interactive. They're absolutely correct. I do appreciate that sort of consistency in the design, though. Like, they're all kind of squares. They go well together. Android, you get more customization and more interactivity with the widgets, but they're kind of different shapes and sizes. I think doesn't look as clean. But Pixel 10 Pro, it's still a good device. And oh man, not to throw them under the bus a little bit. It's not under the bus, but like the deal you can get. I don't even want to look. I was gonna I'll trade in my iPhone and get a Pixel 10 Pro, and then I can sell it for a profit. And Pixel 10 Pro XL, what does this retail for? Nobody tell me. I don't want to know. $795, $831, Jade, mint condition. If you want a deal on a Pixel phone, Swappa is your friend. Ooh, look at that. They have a nice bamboo standing desk. Shout out to that. I love that. I don't know what happened, but you can score a great deal. And they had a great wallpaper. Did you guys see that? Look at that. I want to post a comment on this Swappa listing and be like, what's your desk setup? That looks awesome. But yeah, you can score a crazy good deal. This was the XL as well, and just the regular one is going to be even more affordable. So there you go. How many gigabytes of coverage map have used all time? Like, how many? I can give you a quick stat. Let me see here. Oops. Not signed in. Let me go to this Chrome profile. And I will give you, what? I'm signed into the wrong account. Hang on one second. Un momento. Sign out. Perfect. And then let's go ahead and sign in. Sorry, not able to share this specific portion with you, but we'll have a fun stat in just a moment. So, in the past, what should I say? We will do past week. Do you guys have any guesses? I'm going to tell you in the past week how much data coverage map has used total in the past week. Do you guys have any guesses for that? There were 158,000 tests run in the past week. That's the only hint I will give you. And we'll see. So we have Doxinator, probably more terabytes than gigabytes. That's true. The unit is in terabytes. Oh, Tommy, why'd you have to bring that up? What is that? $400 off you're getting, right? And the savings. So this is everyone, Kyle. This is everyone. 158,000 tests. 50 terabytes. That is actually too high. That's too high. 250, too high. 37, Clint. My gosh. That is shockingly close. 30 terabytes, all good guesses. The answer, Clint, 38 terabytes in the past week is how much data coverage map is used. How much have I used personally? Probably only a couple hundred, but there you go. We have Ruben coming in here with a chat. Hello, amigo, big fan. How can you add two numbers on one phone? iPhone in my case. Hello from Arizona. First time chatting your live stream. Big fan. Ruben, thank you so much for your generosity and support on iPhone. Let me find an iPhone that I can demo this on. Yeah, this one will work. Perfect. Wait, let me hang on. Hang on 1 second. This is the problem. Sometimes you tap things and then you get, yeah. I don't think I really want to show all of the numbers on stream. Not that I'm using them, but here's the gist, Ruben, to answer your question. If you're an iPhone user, first of all, you need to make sure your device is unlocked. Settings, cellular. No, that's wrong. Settings, general, about, and then you're going to look for something that says carrier lock. Make sure that is unlocked. No SIM restrictions. That's exactly what it should say. And then to add another SIM, you're just going to go into cellular. And then you see, that's way overexposed. Let's bring that down a bunch. And pray it focuses. Nope. Well, there's a button here that says add eSIM. And you can go ahead and add an eSIM from another provider. If a provider asks, like you're trying to sign up, you can just use an available IMEI to sign up. And that is how you get two numbers on a single phone. Just make sure it's unlocked and then sign up for another line of service from the carrier of your choice. So I hope that's helpful. We do have a super chat. Nino coming in. I don't care how fast your network is. If you can't penetrate concrete walls and office buildings, you're useless, aka T-Mobile. That is a fair point. I would say Wi-Fi calling would hopefully help alleviate some of the need for carriers to do that. But ultimately, I think that would come down to doing a proper, maybe indoor installation of, what would those be? A DAS, distributed antenna system, setting up antennas kind of in key locations around the office or the concrete building to really get the cell network active in there. I mean, what's crazy, I was just in Vegas this past August, and you're in Caesar's Palace, literally a concrete paradise just filled with everything. And you've got full bars everywhere you go in that place. And I think it's because they have like a full indoor cellular network and antenna system built out. And that would probably be what's required depending on the location. I think it's hard for a lot of networks to get there. But great point as well. Coverage is sometimes most important. How much does it cost per month to maintain all those servers and infrastructure? Probably somewhere between like $1,000 and $2,000 a month, I think is how much it costs. I don't really check the bills. I just don't look. I just let Amex run and then go, ouch. But no, it's super fun. Yeah, that is 1 week. Coverage map is so useful. Shock Treatment Gaming, I appreciate it. We're trying our best to make it useful. S25 Ultra, OnePlus, or latest Poco phones. I have a OnePlus here. I'll give a shout out to Mint. They sent this out to me a while ago, and I'm 60% sure I made a video on it, but don't quote me on that. The software of OnePlus I think is really nice. I think they've got good haptics, good software. Honestly, though, it's hard to beat Samsung. I think the S25 Ultra is too big for my personal liking, but of those, I mean, the cellular modem performance and overall performance of the S25 Ultra, it's really good. Ruben, thanks for the information. Left Verizon for AT&T. Hopefully AT&T works well for you, gives you the coverage you need. And you can always consider saving money with a prepaid carrier such as US Mobile or Cricket that uses AT&T for coverage. Do you know anything about Tello? Yeah, of course. Tello is a great MVNO. They're on the site. Let me dig through my Chrome tabs here and hide this. Add this. Bam. So you can check out Tello coverage map. Excuse me. This is now bestphoneplans.net, not .com. Someone owns .com. It's not me. They wanted. When I graduated college, they wanted 6K for bestphoneplans.com. And I was like, well, I just graduated college. I don't have 6K. Let me get back to you. 5 years later, I was like, yo, I got 6K. Can I buy the domain? And they were like, it had sold to someone else and they wanted 96K. And I was like, hell no. So it is bestphoneplans.net. And it will always be bestphoneplans.net, which has cost me a whopping, I think, $12 per year since I bought it. Anyway, Tello. Great prepaid carrier on the T-Mobile network for coverage. they're a little bit like, sometimes you can get a better deal from US Mobile, but Tello does have a really nice feature where they give you rollover data. So it turns out if you sign up for Tello, it's a 30-day plan. If you manually renew your plan on day 29, they will roll over all of your unused data. That is specifically for the data bucket plans. I don't think that happens with the Tello Unlimited plan. But yeah, again, worth pointing out, right? Tello, $25 for 50 gigs. All right. With US Mobile, you can get truly unlimited data, and their promo right now has that at $35 a month, or if you do the annual, $24.90 a month. So Tello's good, and I think sometimes there are a bit better options. And sometimes Mint runs promos that just make them really good to as well. But Tello, yeah, Tello's good. Ha. Tommy Shields, US Mobile sponsorship when? Yeah, for real though. Maybe I should like swap out the coverage map banner. They should like be sponsoring this. No, I usually don't do sponsorships from carriers. I just do the affiliate model. And what that means is like, if you go to the best phone plan site or the coverage map site, it's, you know, all free. You can compare all the plans. Some of them you'll see, right, are sponsored, so they show up first in that plan comparison. But really, the choice is yours. You can filter and sort however you want. And if you select an option that the plans are not, like, let's say you need priority data and international data included. Well, it looks like some of them do include that. But if you were to filter by an option that they didn't work with, you wouldn't see any sponsored plans, because I'm only showing you the plans that meet your specific filtered criteria. And yeah, that's kind of the model. Like, just provide quality information, try and help people save money on their phone bill. And if you choose to sign up using my link, awesome. That helps support me at no cost to you. And if you want to go with another plan that doesn't have a link, a great example would be, who is a great example? We'll find one here. Like, I guess Red Pocket at the moment. There's just no outbound link. So I'll give you all the details, but there's no like way to sign up for it. I think it's just this specific plan because it's like on eBay or whatever. But anyway, that's how it works. Is Pure Talk a good cell phone carrier? Dave, great question. Pure Talk, the short answer is no. There's nothing wrong with them. I'm sure the service is great. The experience works well. I actually did sign up a while ago and thought it was, fine. The problem is the value, right? And you can get, this is, I feel like a broken record here. You're getting a better price and more data with US Mobile. So if we look at Pure Talk uses the AT&T network for coverage. And should we just do a quick comparison? Yeah, add compare. This is what this site was made for. So we've got all the Pure Talk plans. Let's go to US Mobile. What do I need? 3, 5, 10, 15. So we'll do 2, 5, 10. We can do this 10. And then we need, Dark Star. Well, let's get rid of the annual ones. And then let's find a Dark Star monthly. Here we go. Boom. I probably should have filtered by the 8. Oh, these are all perfect. All right. We'll compare plans and we'll see what's cooking. Yeah. Daniel, I'm not a fan of Pure Talk. They show great deals, but in terms you have to stay for 2 or 3 years and have to pay the price of the phone off, it's tricky. Yeah. I don't think it's going to be worth it. Someone's asking how to become a coverage map plan tester. Yeah, I mean, I make money through affiliate links. So it's all these like sign up for US Mobile, Pure Talk. I don't think I'm part of their program, but really just trying to add value to consumers, help them compare plans. And if they choose to sign up with an affiliate link, I think that's a great way to help monetize your channel. And you could potentially consider sponsorships with brands adjacent to the telecom space, maybe case manufacturers or charging manufacturers or those kinds of accessories. All right, anyway, we're looking here, Pure Talk. Oh, this is so easy. Look at this. Pure Talk, $20, 3 gigs. Same $20 from US Mobile, 10 gigs. Same AT&T coverage. You're getting included hotspot. It's going to be a better plan. I guess, shout out to Pure Talk. They are including some international texting there. Pure Talk, 5 gigs for the same $25. This is nuts. Instead of 5 gigs, you can get truly unlimited high-speed data from US Mobile. I assume this hotspot is incorrect. It's probably 5 gigs of hotspot. Anyway, truly unlimited data from US Mobile. I mean, shout out to Pure Talk for the international stuff, but I don't think a lot of people use that. And US Mobile has that as pretty low cost add-ons. Again, $30, 10 gigs, well, $25 unlimited. $35.15. What are we even doing? $25 unlimited. What else are we like? Oh my God, this is crazy. $45.25. Well, now you're not only getting unlimited data, but it's priority data. You're getting 200 gigs of hotspot. That is 40 times more usable hotspot data. And you're getting better video streaming quality, 4K versus 1080p. And you're getting way better international features now. Like, and then, okay, 60 gigs. Well, for $10 less, you get way more from US Mobile. And then 65, well, same thing. $10 less, you get way more from US Mobile. So, yeah, pretty easy. I think, Dave, to answer your question, look, it's not necessarily that these are bad plans. You know what? It is. I'm just going to say it. They're not great. They're bad plans. You can get more data at a better price from US Mobile with a better app experience, better user experience, and I think better overall experience. I'd go US Mobile all day, every day over Pure Talk. Aditya, we have talked about Red Pocket. Again, similar story. It's not that they're bad. Oh man, wait. We have it pulled up. I haven't closed the tab yet. So this hasn't updated. Here's kind of the gist. US Mobile, instead of getting $10 for 1 gig, US Mobile has a $10 2 gig plan. I forgot to add that here, but that is an option. Red Pocket, this is, forgive the typo, this is now 50 gigs of high-speed data. But again, for 28, you're getting 30 or 50. For 25, you're getting truly unlimited with US Mobile. And you're getting 4 times more hotspot data, right? Same thing here, $30 for 50. Well, unlimited for 25. And even on the premium side of things, this is 50, but with 20 gigs of hotspot, well, you're getting 10 times more hotspot data, better video streaming quality, and way better international features for, what is that, $4 less per month? And a little bit more expensive on the month-to-month option, but you're just getting so much better features. You're getting true priority data versus deprioritized data. So Red Pocket, it's not necessarily a bad value. They'll definitely help you save money, I think, versus some of the postpaid carriers. And I think US Mobile is an even better value, and I think is a better app and mobile experience and such like that. So I have T-Mobile postpay. Is it better to go with prepaid? Alfonso, great question. It really depends on your use, how often you like to upgrade your phone, if you like to do the phone financing deals. From a cost perspective, if you have one line, you will save money with T-Mobile prepaid all day, every day. Now that said, you will save even more money with our friends over at US Mobile. So we were just talking, like, I feel like I wish there was a better alternative. I mean, I could bring up Metro just to spice things up, but the truth is I think US Mobile is even better than Metro. So we'll just pop coverage over to T-Mobile. And I mean, yeah, so the US Mobile Unlimited Premium Lightspeed plan, unlimited high-speed data. It's going to be deprioritized, 50 gigs of hotspot, 4K video streaming, $44 a month. I mean, that's better than T-Mobile prepaid. And you don't have to take my word for it. We can just do that comparison right now. T-Mobile prepaid. It also depends how much data you need. Let's add here. We'll do the 5 gig, the 25. We'll do the 35, and we'll do those two. And we'll pop over to US Mobile. And we'll grab probably the same thing. Let's grab the 5. We'll do this 10. We can grab that 10 because why not? And we'll grab those two. I'm missing unlimited starter. Where is that? Here's unlimited Lightspeed. Perfect. Add compare. All right, let's compare these. And so what US Mobile is, they're a prepaid cell phone carrier that uses the T-Mobile network for coverage. So you're getting the same T-Mobile coverage. And the plan cards are going to load here. So we're just going to give it a couple of seconds. Sorting through all, 998 plans or however many there are. And we'll just give it a beat, maybe a couple beats. Here's what we got. T-Mobile Connect. All right, technically listed $15 for 5 gigs, technically the same, but After tax, $17.52 versus $15 flat, tax and fees included on US Mobile. Also includes calls to Canada and Mexico. With this plan, you're getting free international calls to over 200 countries, and you're getting actual international add-ons, which you don't get from T-Mobile Connect. Next, $25 for 8 gigs. Well, for $20, you can get 10 gigs. Okay. Is worth mentioning, shout out to T-Mobile Connect. This is 8 gigs of priority data, QCI 6. I don't think that makes a difference or matters as much on T-Mobile, but could be worth knowing about. T-Mobile Connect, 35 for 12. Well, for 33, you get truly unlimited with deprioritized 50 gigs of hotspot, 4K streaming with that annual option. Or for $10 less, instead of 12 gigs, you can get over 5 times more data with 70 gigabytes of high-speed data. And you're getting 10 gigs of hotspot here, the same 720p video streaming quality, and again, those international add-ons available as well. And then when you look at the prepaid, I mean, it is 50 gigs of priority, but after 50 gigs, it's unlimited deprioritized, and it's actually going to be more deprioritized than US Mobile. So US Mobile's plan, unlimited QCI 7. T-Mobile's plan, it is 50 gigs QCI 6, and then unlimited QCI 9. So worth keeping that in mind. International texting and calling available for $15 extra. Crazy expensive. US Mobile includes those for free. Also comes with 50 gigs of hotspot data as opposed to 600 kilobit per second hotspot data, which from my testing, I feel is borderline unusable. I think it is unusable. I would not recommend anyone use that. This is like getting your hopes up that you could use it in a pinch. No, it is abysmal. Truly a nightmare situation. And then US Mobile, well, it's getting 10 times more hotspot data. It is truly unlimited. So, different in priority that I explained. And you're getting way better international features for now $16 less per month, probably closer to $20 less per month after taxes and fees. So yeah, you could save money with T-Mobile prepaid, or you can get, as I said, more features at a better price from US Mobile. So that's what I'll say, Alfonso. I hope that's helpful. Shankar, thank you so much for your generosity and support. I love that. Is that a dog or like a wolf? Maybe a husky howling over there? That's so cute. Oh, that's great to know, Jose. In my experience, you can still send and receive picture messages with T-Mobile Connect after using all of your data allotment. That is great to know because sometimes those features do require a little bit of data and they can sometimes stop working. Hey Stetson, iPhone 17 Pros, plateau antenna, and X80s are demolishing speed tests. Is this in relation to the regular base iPhone 17? That would be interesting. Maybe I'll have to get one. Vartan, this comment could cost me $830. How come you would make it? But if I'm doing a speed test video, I mean, I should probably get it, right? I'll see. TBD. I'll check in with the guy in finance, which is also me, and see what's going on there. Or, oh man, wait, hang on, hold the phone. Are we far out enough where sometimes people buy them and they try and flip them? iPhone 17. Oh, we are. Oh, there's nothing. What are they selling? iPhone 17, Mint, Verizon. These are locked to Verizon. Butter biscuits. I mean, I could use it on Verizon, but that's not helpful. That's not what we want. It'll be worth it. It's worth it to buy it unlocked. Hate to say it for me. But yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Yeah, I agree with you, Daniel. Hey, Stetson, is there an international carrier? I'd say Google Fi and US Mobile are probably the closest to international carriers. Google Fi, to their credit, very seamless international roaming experience. You get 50 gigs of data in over 200 countries, which is just phenomenal. US Mobile, close second. Their plan is more affordable, and so probably better overall value. And their Lightspeed network, which is on T-Mobile here in the US, you get 200 minutes, 250 texts, and 20 gigs of data in 197 countries. So probably the best option for international roaming. Jane Lee. Hi, Google Fi 50% of visible mobile. I'd go visible all day, every day. That's my take. Is Google Fi doing a 50% off promo right now? That has come up a couple times in chat. Oh, my goodness. 50% off for 15 months. Yeah, I'd still go visible. I think visible has just better plans. And ooh, it's nice to see Google Fi updated their design here. That's kind of cool. They go from like little squares to little circles. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know. It's like they don't go well together. Ugh. Anyway, yeah, I would go visible. That's my answer. It's not that Google Fi is bad, but I think visible, you end up saving more money. Taxes and fees being included really also help out a lot. Ricky, thank you so much for your generosity and support. Which is better, visible wireless or total wireless? Ricky, it does depend a little bit on how you quantify better in your mind. I can give you a quick comparison here. Look, in my opinion, I'm signing up for visible all day, every day. In some scenarios, it will be more expensive. Oh, man, I just remembered. Total includes that Disney Plus subscription. So good. I love Disney Plus. But Ricky, I'll give you the quick comparison here. I'll give you the DL, right? If we do visible, actually quick reset, one line, and then visible. And we're just going to look at monthly, okay? We're not going to look at the annual stuff right now. Boom. And let's do total. Boom, boom, boom. Compare plans now. Oh, man. Shankar, I see your super chat, and I will get to you. And I can relate. I was just in my gym this morning. Horrible cell service. There is a solution. If they deploy Helium Wi-Fi hotspots, sometimes your phone will auto-connect to there, and those can be really nice. The other option is connecting to the gym's regular Wi-Fi if they offer it. All right, we're in. Ricky, this is for you. So base plans, sadly, they're not next to each other because there's a pretty big price gap. Although $20 a month if you bring your own device versus $19 a month with the current Switch promo. What's the difference? So both plans, visible base and total base. Here, forgive Visible Plus for being in the middle for a moment, but both are coming with unlimited high speed. Okay, unlimited high speed. Both are deprioritized. Big difference in hotspot. 5 gigs of high-speed hotspot versus unlimited hotspot at 5 megabits per second. I would go with unlimited hotspot at 5 megabits per second. I think that's more useful because I think 5 gigs you can chew through pretty quickly if you're using a task with hotspot. International features, we got to go total base. International texting, international calling, and 10 gigs in Canada and Mexico are included for free. Way better than what Visible is offering. Also depends if you need a smartwatch or a tablet line. This card doesn't have it. So forgive me for that, but you can see you can add a smartwatch to Visible for $10, not supported on Total, but you can add a tablet line for $10 on Total, which is not supported on Visible. So it kind of depends if you need the tablet or smartwatch line. So those are the base plans. I'd probably lean a little bit more towards Visible base myself for that unlimited hotspot data and that $1 cheaper price. Let's get these out of here. And we've now got, again, sorry these didn't line up properly, but total 5G unlimited versus Visible Plus. This will be $25 a month versus $26 a month with the promo, okay? So 50% off 25 versus 26. Very similar, couple minor differences. So both are now giving you unlimited high-speed data, and this is now priority data on both. Unlimited QCI 8 data on the Verizon network. Again, big difference in hotspot. Visible, unlimited hotspot at 10 megabits per second. Total, fast hotspot, but only 15 gigs. My preference, again, would be Visible. I think that's much more useful. And 10 megabits per second is so fast for hotspot data. Maybe so fast is an exaggeration, but it is plenty usable for streaming videos at 1080p quality on YouTube. And speaking of which, Visible Plus 1080p video streaming when you're connected to 5G ultra wideband versus 720p streaming on Total 5G Unlimited. International features, again, hats off to Total. International texting, calling, 10 gigs in Canada and Mexico, and 10 gigs in 30 countries. Visible, still really good. Texting and calling to Canada and Mexico, 2 gigs a day in Canada and Mexico, which is arguably better than 10 gigs because this will end up being about 60 gigs a month versus 10 gigs all at once. But if you're traveling for a trip, sometimes getting 10 gigs all up front is a little bit nicer. Visible, 1 free international day per month. You can accumulate up to 12 free days per year. If you go on a international trip for a week per year, Visible Plus will cover you. But if you go to one of the 30 included countries, then Total could be a little bit better. So as a mid-tier, personally, I'd probably opt for, again, Visible Plus here. I just think Visible has a better app and mobile experience. And if Max is in the chat, I'm sure he would have feedback for this. Max, if you're still here, what's your take as a current Total customer who almost lost their phone number? I think Visible has a better app, better mobile experience, and I would consider signing up through them. Lastly, Visible Plus Pro versus Total 5G Plus Unlimited, $33 a month versus $30 a month if you bring your own device. This one is crazy tough. So both unlimited high-speed priority data, Total 5G Plus, unlimited hotspot at 5 megabits per second versus Visible Plus, unlimited hotspot at 15 megabits per second. Big win for Visible there, I think. 4K video on 5G ultra wideband, 1080p on 5G nationwide or LTE versus 720p on Total. Again, big win for Visible there. International features now a little bit more on par. Both have international texting. Visible is giving you 500 minutes of free international calling versus, I guess, just many more minutes of international calling to more countries. 2 gigs a day in Canada and Mexico versus that 10 gigs per day in Canada and Mexico. And then 2 free international days per month versus 10 gigs in 30 countries. You can accumulate up to 24 free days per year. That could make Visible Plus Pro better. Visible Plus Pro also now includes that free Apple Watch line, which is really nice. Total, $10 extra to add that unlimited tablet line. No watch support at all. The big advantage for Total, all right, let's see it, Total Wireless. The link you clicked is malformed. My affiliate links aren't even working. No wonder I'm not earning any money from Total Wireless. Should get that checked out. Anyway, the big deal here. If you go to phone plans, Total 5G Plus, this is the one thing that would make me consider Total Disney Plus Premium on us. That is a $19 a month subscription included for free in your $30 plan. Really, really nice. Great value. And I love Disney Plus. I love having that. So yeah, I think Ricky, it kind of comes down to what you need, what you're looking for. I think Visible has a better app, better mobile experience, and I'm probably recommending them 9 times out of 10. But Total, undeniably a great value. And if you're a Disney Plus user, that can even add to your savings and make it worth it. And I'm just curious if Max has a chat in here. No, he probably missed it. But yeah, that's what I would say. So Ricky, I hope that's helpful. It's somewhat of a long-winded answer, but I like going in detail, in depth, giving you guys the true nitty-gritty. Does any carrier give you truly unlimited hotspot? I mean, Visible's close, right? They advertise unlimited hotspot. They will slow your speeds after you use 450 gigs. They're not happy if you're using this as a home internet replacement. If you're just hotspotting every once in a while, the 100 to 200 gig range, you're probably going to be fine. But no one's really doing true unlimited hotspot. Ruben, do you recommend any business wireless companies? That is a fantastic question. Candidly, for most businesses, I think their needs would likely be met with one of the prepaid carriers that we've talked about. I think US Mobile is a fantastic option. There's no limit to how many lines you can have on a single US Mobile account dashboard, which makes it super nice for managing all of your business lines in one place. US Mobile also has their buy the gig plan. So let's say you grab 20 gigs for $35 a month. You can add in as many lines as you want. I mean, this clicker just keeps on clicking. Boom, here's 25 lines. 20 gigs is probably not going to be enough for each line, but kind of depends. If this is a secondary device, maybe they're not using that much data. $227 a month, but $9.08 per line per month. Like, that is crazy. Of course, if you did need more data, you'd have to configure that and the price would increase. But the fact that US Mobile offers this, I think, is very flexible and can make that cost very, very affordable. I also recently added, there's this company called Workphone. Oops, just spelled normally. And they are, let's see, at work phone, super simple plans, $19 a user a month for their starter plan, which is just talk and text. And then premium, this is very similar to US Mobile Unlimited Premium. Unlimited 5G plus premium data, international roaming from $12 a day, and mobile hotspot. And this is pretty simple because you just sign in with Google, get that eSIM, you're set up and going. So work phone could be an option. From the big carriers, I'm less compelled to suggest AT&T or T-Mobile or Verizon. They could work, kind of depends on what your business's needs are, but I think you'll likely get a better rate from some of the prepaid carriers. So I hope that's helpful. Once Visible gets data plans for tablets, it is a game changer. DT, it is. It is. I mean, at the same time, right? If you're on Visible and you're cooking with unlimited hotspot data at 15 megabits per second, do I have a tablet? Oh, it's been lurking. Get the, oh. We got it. Oh no. What happened to the exposure? I just like shocked you guys. Did my Logitech webcam crap itself? That's what it looks like. Logitune, Brio, bam. See all the fuss I put into trying to get that shot set up, and then bam, Logitech dropping the ball left, right, and center today. I like having props, so now you get the iPad prop. If you got a cellular iPad, look how massive this iPad is. I went with the 12.9 inch. I actually started off with the 10 inch. And then I was like, I watched YouTube exclusively on this. I should just get the bigger one. So I have a bigger YouTube screen. No regrets. It is awesome. You can find these for low key $500, $600 on Swappa. Dangerous. Absolutely dangerous. This is the 2021 model with Apple M1 and a 5G modem. So pretty good. And I think it still has, yep, bingo, the physical SIM tray. Elusive in the Apple ecosystem. But to answer your question, Visible's unlimited hotspot at 15 megabits per second, which is perfect to share with your tablet. So you might even not need a tablet plan. And some people have brought that up on previous streams. So I think they're absolutely right. That means you still have millimeter wave, which Apple removed from the newer iPads. That's crazy. Although I will say, my hot take of the evening, I don't think millimeter wave is worth it. I think 5G UW on C-band is good enough. That's my hot take. But yeah, I probably do still have it. What is this? Fun fact of the day. Mint definitely doesn't want me telling you this, but the probability that Mint is watching at 2 hours and 27 minutes into a live stream is low. So I'll let you know. I tested putting a Mint plan on my tablet and it worked. Do with that information as you will. Let me pop my passcode in here. I think it's a 2021. I originally had the 2018 model that my parents generously gave me for my birthday back in college, and I used it for taking handwritten notes. I'm sure the teachers were probably not thrilled, having an iPad, another screen in the classroom or whatever. But yeah. Oh, sorry about that. Settings was not loading. General. Wow, come on, iOS 26. All right, settings, we're back. Nope, we're not. This is the settings screen, everybody. Oh, we loaded. It is iPad Pro 12.9 5th generation, which I think is 2021. So, there you go. Wow, M1, M2, the last ones to have millimeter wave. That's kind of crazy. Clint, I agree with you. I think iOS 26, I got over, it's not great. I think there's so much room to improve it, candidly. I mean, some of the animations I think are nice, but the glass look is just, it's too much. I would like to please turn it off. That's also crazy. Mussy. M2. Okay, I will say the new M5. Actually, now is probably the time to buy the M4. Get that tandem OLED, that slim design. It'd be so sick. And most importantly, the new keyboard case with the escape key. This is the old keyboard case. I really Really would love having that escape key. Will I get one eventually? Yeah, maybe. Maybe I'll splurge on one. I'll sell this on Swappa. I get for like $400 for it and be like, wow, that's a heck of a good deal for an iPad. Like, insane. And then consider buying. I'd probably also buy used on Swappa. It's so good. Nathan, bear doesn't walk. Hey, signed up with Apple iPhone upgrade program when I had T-Mobile, but just switched to Visible. Heard that Visible doesn't support that program. What will the consequence be? Yeah, that's a great question, Nathan. My understanding is to sign up with the Apple iPhone upgrade program, you do need to be with a postpaid carrier. Now that you are signed up, technically there won't be any consequence because the program is done through Apple. You'll be able to, like, the phone is unlocked, so it works perfectly on Visible. I think next time around, so with the iPhone upgrade program, you are able to upgrade every year. You trade in. Oh, we have the phones here. Perfect. This is a 15. Where's the 16? Look at this. You would trade in your iPhone 16 Pro to get your new iPhone 17 Pro Max. I guess next year you'd trade in your 17 to get the 18 Pro Max. But you might not be able to do that trade-in because of Visible. That said, it's just a 2-year financing agreement. So basically the full cost of the phone and Apple Care is just financed over 2 years. And all you have to do is pay it off. The phone is yours and you can kind of do whatever you want. I will say it is cheaper, it turns out, to not do the Apple iPhone upgrade program and instead just trade in directly to Apple and then stick with Visible and upgrade that way. And I've done the math out on that. And it's because Apple includes Apple Care in their bundle for the iPhone upgrade program. So that's why it's cheaper. Okay, Vartan says, and buy and return the 17 base. You know what? That is fair. That would be a crunch. You know, that might be a good incentive. 2 weeks of just like thorough speed testing. And yeah. And I try not to abuse the buy and return policy. Honestly, I feel a little guilty about it. Like I'm taking advantage of Apple. I haven't done it too frequently. And I would say 9 times out of 10. I mean, look at how many iPhones I have here, right? You should, is ridiculous. Okay, ridiculous. The bottom line, I keep the devices and then I usually sell them 9 times out of 10. So I think taking one device, 117 base, and testing that versus the 17 Pro could be worth it, and I wouldn't feel too guilty. So Vartan, I like that. I like that. Jake, hey Stetson, what do you think is the best dual SIM setup for coverage across the whole US? Jake, there is an easy answer for this, thankfully. And it is our friends over at US Mobile. Let me sign in so I can show this to you. 1 second. Using the old 1Password. Oops, mistyped that. Oh, hang on. Man, this is making me want to get the... There it is. The Magic Keyboard that has that fingerprint reader built in. That would be nice. Very convenient. All right, we're going to sign into best phone plans. Perfect. Oh, dashboard. That always throws me off. Bam. All right, Jake, here's the answer. You're a US Mobile customer, like myself. You have a line on Unlimited Premium. Well, good for you, because you just got a great deal because it's on sale. You can go ahead and add a second network to your plan. If you go ahead and hit add second network, this is $10 a month extra. And basically the way this works is it gives you 100 gigabytes of shared multi-network data. So you're going to get a second SIM card that you activate on eSIM on your phone. If you signed up on T-Mobile, you can add Verizon or AT&T. If you signed up on AT&T, you can add T-Mobile, Verizon. You get the point. You add that second network, and it's available as a backup when you need it. You can create a quick shortcut to toggle between the two. And it's super easy, super nice, and only $10 extra. And you get your two first cycles are free. So really, really great value option. And I think that's probably the best. If I was doing it with 2 different plans, I'd probably dual rock Visible, I take advantage of their current promo, Visible Plus for 26, and then I'd probably do US Mobile Unlimited Starter. I don't know. I don't really like the AT&T network. I think I've just had a bad experience here in Colorado, so I do Visible with maybe like US Mobile on that Lightspeed network, which would be 25. So like 50 a month for pretty sweet plans. Yeah, that's probably what I would do. Verizon, AT&T, and T-Mobile with a combo. Yeah, Jake, also worth noting, I think you can add, so wait, hang on. My lines. Don't quote me on this, but I think you can add the multi-network add-on twice. And that would give you all 3 networks for $64 a month. That's hard to beat. That's hard to beat. Don't quote me on that though. Probably worth trying. You can see this is my data usage. Really funny to see this. You can see the days I go speed testing. Like, oh, I went speed testing October 15th. I went speed testing October 6th. I think I did a couple more in the beginning. Yeah, September 25th, September 29th, October 3rd, October 5th. Yeah, I was going harder in the beginning, and then the schedule was a little bit full, but that's funny to see. 54.7 gigs, 3-cycle average. Yeah, anyway. I love this. No other carrier really gives you this. I guess some of the big carriers, they've been improving their data usage analytics, but I think what US Mobile does is really, really cool. It's really, really cool. Wait, Stetson, how do you change from Lightspeed to Darkstar? You can do a network transfer if you want. So, right, this is your dashboard. You can either add that secondary network and then create a shortcut in your phone to swap between them. Let me see. I think this phone has one. Yeah. Let me go ahead. Settings. And this will just be funny, but it'll work for the demo purposes of the live stream. So if you've got 2 SIMs active. Oh, no, I don't have the shortcut set up. All right, new phone. We need to find a new phone. And we'll turn on this one. And if we check, oh man, this one doesn't have it either. All right, we need another new phone. This one will have it. No, it doesn't have it. Sorry, there's a shortcut that I set up on some devices and not others. Here it is. All right, this is a pretty poor example, but the idea is, and I'll full screen myself so you can see this. Again, you add that second network, you're adding a second SIM card on eSIM, you'll have 2 lines active, and then the toggle between them. On Android, I think you mainly need to do it. On iOS, there's a shortcut that someone created on Reddit that I made a video about. So shout out to the person on Reddit, but you just tap that button and it'll swap between them. I only have 1 SIM active on this phone, so it doesn't really work, but there's a full video on my channel on how to set that up, and it's pretty cool. In terms of actually switching networks, you just go in here, and there's a button called Switch Network. So you just go ahead, click on that, and they're going to promote their multi-network add-on, or you can just do a full-on network transfer next. It's going to run a few checks. Who knows what it's checking, but it'll check some stuff. And you click I understand, and you just pick what you want, Darkstar or Warp, and it'll fully port your number to whatever network you select. And that's how that works. Yeah, I don't know of a way to get a carrier switching shortcut on Android, candidly. If anyone knows, by all means, please share that in the comments. Can you switch network without internet? Yeah, Shankar, absolutely you care. Shankar, you absolutely can. The shortcut is just swapping between which SIM is being used for the active data connection, and it'll work. The shortcut will run even if you have no service or no internet. But of course, it won't necessarily give you internet if the other SIM doesn't have internet as well. Gabriel, thank you. I appreciate you, man. You're too kind. You're too kind. Can you? Okay, we already answered that. Oh, Clint, I think I saw this earlier, so forgive me for not answering it, and thank you for asking again. What do you think about a plan that has super high priority, like QCI 6, but has a hard speed cap at like 50 megabits per second? So it's more about the priority than the speed. I think, in theory, that sounds great. In practice, I would challenge that and say, well, I mean, even with a current priority plan, like when is a user really using more than 50 megabits per second, right? In my opinion, I could be mistaken, but I think highest bandwidth use case is going to be maybe a high definition video call, which you don't really have control over. Like you're on a FaceTime call on iPhone or you're in a Google Meet, you're not really typically getting the controls over that. And you'd be pulling what? Maybe 5 megs down and 5 megs up. So 10 megabits per second tops. So yeah, I mean, I guess my question is like, I don't think people would even hit the hard cap, so maybe it doesn't even matter. But to your point, if this cap could be imposed, like if you had a $25 plan that was full speed but deprioritized, or a $25 plan that was 50 megabits per second and priority, I would go with the 50 megabit per second plan all day, every day for the same $25 price. I think in my mind, it comes into like how this offer would be priced to make it compelling. That's what I would say. Yeah, but because like, yeah, on a phone, you're not really using that much data. So like having the little things work is more important than getting the super fast speed test. Jordan. Whoa, total removed. My 50% off on my plan for no reason. Jordan, I am so sorry to hear that. That sounds like a headache. And this is salvageable. You're not going to like to hear this. But I think you can go ahead and port to Visible and get this promo. And you're probably going to get a very similar plan. Some might say better for around the same price. And let's just check full plan details. No, that's not what I want. I want little I button. I'm just trying to see. I don't think there's any limit on this being for a Verizon. Like you can't be coming from Verizon. I think you can come from Verizon. So I think you're good. Jordan, I'm so sorry to hear that. That is very frustrating. I mean, that's either like an unknown amount of hours on call with support, or it's just gone. But I think if I were in your shoes, I would definitely consider moving over to Visible, taking advantage of this promo. Or, I mean, US Mobile does have their deal going on right now, which is not bad. Where did that tab go? Someone find it. Well, we'll do what I always do. Make a new tab. Bam. You can grab their unlimited premium plan, $35 a month. I think Visible's better. I'd go Visible. I think that's the answer. Steve, there is no love for US Mobile's current customers. Yeah, Steve, you're right. And I'm a current US Mobile customer, okay? I've been paying $25 a month, the full price, for a while. And I will say, you're a current customer and you have already saved more money than what the new customers are saving, right? Like, sure, they're getting a great deal, but what are they realistically saving? Let's see. For this one, $35 a month for 12 months, they're saving $120. I bet, I know I've saved well over $120 already on US Mobile. So I've already gotten the better deal. Annual, this one is hard to beat. 20, let's round up and call it 25. Actually, wait a minute. 32.50 minus 25, $7.50 per month. 750 times 12 months. They're saving $90. Yeah, I've saved well over $90. So, yeah, you're right. I mean, is it a bummer to miss out on this? Absolutely. But you've already won, Steve. Like we are the winners. We've already saved so much money, and that's kind of what it's about. Gabriel, what is T-Mobile Experience More hotspot go to after 60 gigs? What is that speed usable for? I think the answer is nothing. I think it goes to 600 kilobits per second. Let's pull this up right now. I was going to go to the T-Mobile website and I was like, no, that's going to be a mess. T-Mobile, here we go. If we actually do T-Mobile Experience, do I put it in? Uh-oh, I've got a filter applied. Reset. Or I spelled something wrong. Also possible. Bam. Yeah, it is 60 gigs and it's 600 kilobit per second hotspot. I think 600 kilobit per second hotspot is unusable. You could like maybe use it to check your email, maybe load a social media site. It's slow though. It is really slow. I would not encourage that at all, especially for the kinds of tasks you want to do on a laptop. Like you'll have Google Drive, like disconnecting and reconnecting. It's not a good experience. So it's really 60 gigs in my opinion. Clint, I'm glad you're on the same page. Yeah, entirely unusable. Like on a phone, for whatever reason, 512 kilobits per second. I'm not going to say it's usable, but like with enough patience, the stuff you need will eventually load. Like Google Maps will load. You can technically stream music. It's not a great experience, but for hotspot use, something about it is unusable. That's the truth. Is running speed tests on LTE where your phone is forced to use LTE only create false speeds on the coverage map? No, it turns out it does not, and I'll show you exactly how come. So it turns out when you go to map.coveragemap.com and you're looking at the glorious speed test map, there is a toggle here for 5G and LTE. So if you're looking at all, then yeah, the LTE speeds will influence those speeds. But boom, you pop it over to 5G, and now this is it's filtering out all the LTE data. We're only looking at 5G, and we can go ahead and do like best, and let's get some of the smaller squares popped in here. Right, so you can zoom in, and yeah, this is going to be all the 5G only data. And if you're like, wow, I really want to see what LTE is like, bam, you can pop into LTE and see what all the LTE data is like. Whoa, shout out to whoever is in this area mapping the networks out. You have done a phenomenal job, really helping the people in this area choose the best network and see the prowess that is Verizon. Although the tricky thing is sometimes Verizon is just the only one that has been mapped in that area, which is the case here. But shout out to whoever is doing this. You're crushing it. Does Visible have QCI 8 on LTE? Remu, yes, Visible does. On Visible Plus and Visible Plus Pro is QCI 8 on all the plans. How does half off Google Fi compare to US Mobile Lightspeed? You know what? Snark Mark, I have been dodging the Google Fi question. That one's tricky. It might not be tricky for some, but let's dive in. I think this is worth the comparison here. So, bam, we'll go back. Google Fi. I'm glad the 50% promo is back. That makes it way more palatable. Add to compare, add to compare, add to compare. And we'll do US Mobile Unlimited. Actually, we'll just do US Mobile and we'll do coverage T-Mobile. That's going to give us all the T-Mobile plans. And we are going to want, we're not going to do anything annual. Let's do monthly starter, monthly premium. And that's probably all we want. Maybe we'll throw in this $35 one as well. And let's compare. Let's see what we got cooking. Wow, Vartan. In addition to the shortcut to swap the SIMs, you can also do a back double tap via accessibility assistive touch. Yeah, that could be really cool as well. I feel like I tried that for something and I may have accidentally triggered it more times than I would have liked, which might be how come I haven't used it. Oh man, BC, best all around. I think best Verizon MVNO is going to be Visible on the Visible Plus or Visible Plus Pro plan. It looks like Visible Plus Pro snuck into this comparison. Sneaky. Let's actually remove that. Anything else that snuck in here? The total plan that was still legacy. Cool. All right, Google Fi Unlimited Essentials. It's going to come down to personal preference, and I have my takes here. I'll share the details and then dive into my takes. So $35 a month. Technically, Google Fi, this is actually going to be a better value, right? Because $35 a month, cut that in half, $17.50, add in some taxes and fees. Maybe it's like $22 a month, and you're getting 30 gigs of data. That's really good. And it's priority data. Deal breaker for me, no hotspot, so I wouldn't even get this plan, TBH. Still, if you're not a hotspot user, this is a great value. So don't discredit my dissing of this plan for that. The, I think, more interesting plans are going to be Google Fi Unlimited Standard and Premium. Standard, 50% off, knocks this price down to $25 a month. That's actually incredible. $25 a month, 50 gigs priority, 25 gigs hotspot. You can add an Apple Watch line. Actually, does it support Apple Watch? Someone correct me on that. I know it supports a watch line, and I know it's Pixel Watch. I think it's Galaxy Watch. I don't know about Apple Watch off the top of my head right now. For $25 a month, that is a really good value. 50 gigs is going to be plenty for most people. Unfortunately, if you use over 50 gigs, that's where the speeds get really slow. And US Mobile, they can't really, well, the same $25 would get you US Mobile Unlimited Starter. So it'd be 70 gigs, but it's deprioritized. Still plenty of data. 10 gigs hotspot versus 25 gigs hotspot. A little bit better video streaming quality. Google Fi better international, though. 50 gigs in Canada and Mexico. I think at the $25 price, I would go Google Fi. I think the priority will be, I mean, I don't actually think priority matters on T-Mobile. So, I mean, disregard that. It'll probably be a little bit cheaper of a plan. And this is plenty for most people. And the hotspot's really nice. And the features are really nice. So I'd probably lean a little bit towards Google Fi. Unlimited Premium. 65 divided by 2. What is that? $32.50 a month? Wow, that's like US Mobile Unlimited Premium Annual. Let's round up because it'll be $32.50 plus 6, maybe $38 a month. Yeah, dang. 50, that's 100 gigs priority, 50 gigs hotspot, and yeah, I would do Google Fi. US Mobile's great. It's a great value, and if you do take advantage of the promotion, oops, sorry, wrong tab. US Mobile, bam. If you do the current promotion, it's still a really good value. I mean, $25 a month with that annual option. But, I mean, truth be told, Google Fi, even if it's a little bit more, it's premium data, plenty of hotspot, and all the international just included right out of the box, which is super nice. So I'd probably lean towards Google Fi, I think. I think that's my answer there. Zai, would the Best Phone Plans website ever get an app? Zai, great question. I don't think so. And I don't think so because, you know, how often are people switching their plans? Like, how often do you guys switch your plans? That'd be an interesting question. I don't think that often. And really, I think if you're going to switch your plan, you want a website, you want like a massive screen to be able to compare everything. I guess people browse this on their mobile phones too, but yeah, I think a website is best for kind of hosting the news and stuff. And I don't think it makes sense to invest money into building a mobile app. Like, I think the website just gets the job done. It's pretty good. It's not perfect, but it's pretty good. And that's what I would consider. Paul, thank you so much for your generosity and support. Which do you recommend, Visible or US Mobile? Wow, this has been hot. I think I actually have that tab still open. No, I don't think I did a comparison. I think on the Verizon network, I would lean a little bit more towards Visible. But US Mobile is still a great pick. They still have the multi-network add-on. So if you're interested in the multi-network, that could be something to consider. Hotspot usage, if you use a lot of hotspot, it might be worth going with Visible because they're getting the unlimited hotspot data. Visible Plus Pro includes that smartwatch line for Pixel Watch and Apple Watch. Yeah, I think like if I'm going Verizon network, I think I would go Visible right now. I think the promos they have are really good. It's nice that it's month to month. The app is fine, and the international roaming getting included is also really nice. So yeah, it's tough. It's tough. They're both great. The good, you can't really go wrong. You can't really go wrong. And like $25 a month, it's also a great value. I'm just trying to think right now. Yeah, it really depends, I guess, what your needs are, what you're interested in. I mean, what partially has me coming back to US Mobile is this like dumb data usage analytics thing. It's just like so fun. I just love the data. I can't lie. It's just like so cool seeing that. And it's like, all right, my total cycle, my total usage, my daily average, my 3-cycle average. I can go back. Oops. Wait, can I change my cycle here? No. I feel like I can do this on my phone. I don't know how come I can do this. Last updated 21 days ago. Anyway, I love this stuff. I love the analytics. Visible did add data usage. Yeah, I think, Paul, I think to keep it simple, if you're not going to use the multi-network add-on and you don't really need all this stuff, I think Visible is probably what I would lean towards on the Verizon network. I think great experience. The unlimited hotspot, super nice. The better video streaming quality is really nice. The smartwatch included on that Visible Plus Pro plan is really nice. And the pricing's super competitive, as well as the international roaming. And $15 a month off Fios Home Internet. Depends if you need that. But that's what I would say. And I hope that's helpful. Dang. Mossy getting a millimeter wave test. 3,000 megabits per second download and 200 up on coverage map while traveling through the airport. Absolutely nuts. Yeah, that is insane. That is insane. Kyle, you're absolutely correct. US Mobile does include that watch line on Unlimited Premium on the Warp network. Unlimited high-speed data, 50 gigs of hotspot versus unlimited hotspot at 15 megabits per second. Just really depends. It really depends. There's no clear. Some people will probably like US Mobile for the multi-network add-on, the different mobile application, the seamlessness of switching devices, the data usage analytics. Some people will probably prefer Visible for the arguably, well, just different international roaming data. And the unlimited hotspot, I think, is really nice as well. I feel like I've asked this before, but does T-Mobile limit you to 720p or 1080p on experience more when not on 5G or 5G UC years at 4K no matter what you are connected to? We have the capability to answer this question live on stream. Here we go. We've picked up a phone. It is an iPhone 15 Pro. This is on one of my T-Mobile lines. Let's pop this off. Let's go in. I accidentally turned the boost line on, so let's turn boost off. And let's turn Wi-Fi off. And let's pop in. Let's go to T-Mobile. And here, we're Gabriel. LTE. All right. For those of you curious, how do you test what the video speed cap is on a plan? You would use the Fast application, which is, funny enough, not installed on this phone. So we're going to use the website version. Actually, I feel like the mobile app might be better. App Store, fast.com. So Fast, not now, is created by Netflix, and it connects directly to the Netflix servers. Carriers detect that as video traffic and will impose their throttle on the plan. So here we go. Fast.com. It is getting 2.6, 2.5. Oh no, do I have to like enable 4K streaming on my plan? 2.3. That is definitely throttled. If we go into the speed test app here, let's go ahead, go to speed test and do indoors, start this. It should be way faster than, yeah. What is that, 140, 150, 160? Oh, it's screaming. That's satisfying. That is so satisfying. Anyway, the bottom line is that is faster, 147, faster than 2 megabits per second. Let's try again. Hang on. I might need to go into my account and like turn on the HD streaming. Yeah, so this is 100% getting throttled to what they consider 480p, 2.5. Actually, very generous for 480p. Let me go ahead. If I do 5G on, and it's going to pop over to 5G, and let's go ahead and go back to the speed test app, test again. 5G, 800, 900 down. That is insane, immensely satisfying. And if we go back to the fast.com and rerun this, yeah, it's getting throttled. All right. I have a T-Mobile account issue that I didn't even know I had. So now I got to log into my account, turn this 4K streaming feature on. It's kind of wild to me that they advertise 4K streaming and leave it off, but it makes total sense because it just saves so much data on the network. And people, like, no one's going to know to do that. Diabolical. It is just diabolical. All right, use authenticator, continue. We are in. I spoke too soon. All right, we are in. We can also check data usage. I do love that. Most used looks like 68 gigs. One line is 68 gigs used. Very cool. 9 devices on the account, $442 a month. Oh, hurts the soul. I don't even want to think about that. All right, this device is the iPhone 15 Pro, which is, let me just lock in the phone number here. Yep, all right, we got it. So I don't want to upgrade, but I want to click on it, and I want to do add-ons and data. I think it's manage add-ons. Whoa, okay, manage add-ons. And I want to turn on 4K streaming. Here we go. Manage HD. Here we go. I found the toggle. Toggle on. Wild. Signed up, all off. Boom. Successfully changed. Should we see if this happened? Did it make the change live? So this plan theoretically now has 4K streaming. Should we find out? How fast do you think it is at updating? Oh my God, that was immediate. 1.5 gigabits per second. If you didn't see the change in unit, you'd be like, oh, it's still broken. But no, that speed cap is gone. So now, Gabriel, we can answer your question. We can go back into settings, 5G. We can swap this over to LTE. And now if we go to fast.com, this is the moment of truth. We'll restart it. There is no cap. It is full 4K, regardless of your network type, 5G or LTE. You're getting whatever the network can deliver in terms of speed and performance. There's the answer. 4K no matter what. Yeah, Vartan, it's like you understand it and it's also dumb. It's like most people aren't going to notice. It saves a huge amount of bandwidth on the network, a huge amount of bandwidth. And most people don't notice, doesn't really matter. So probably you should keep it off. But yeah, I don't know what to say. And it's easy enough to do, but you just got to know to do it. New coverage map icon in testing. You got 2 icons on your phone. That is a funny question. It is a new app, it turns out. The speed test by Coverage Map is what we're trying to launch. And the thinking behind that, candidly, nothing new, no new features. I wish there was something exciting and cool that we could throw around there. The idea is one thing and one thing only. We just want to rank for the speed test search term. And hopefully people download our app to run tests and we get more data that can help build better coverage maps for everyone. So that's kind of what we're thinking. Because right now, not going to name any names, but there is an app that happens to rank very well for the search keyword speed test. And they get a lot of tests. And it is a great app. And what happens to the data? Well, it gets completely hidden behind some black veil and it helps big companies, but it doesn't help consumers. And so we're hoping that, we can hopefully rank well, have a great speed test app with some unique features and functionality that other apps don't offer. And then people will download it, use it, and contribute to the crowdsourced map. So that is the thinking there. Look, you said it, not me. You said it, not me. Yes, thank you, Masi. I appreciate that. Shankar, thank you so much for your generosity and support. How did you build that app? Tech stack, please. Yeah, so the app is built. We're using Flutter to develop it, and that is a cross-platform development language, I think made by Google. And we're using Flutter because we can have one code base and then deploy changes to both iPhone and Android at the same time. So both of the apps have the best experience and the latest features as soon as possible. The rest of the tech stack, I actually don't know because I didn't build it. We hired someone to build it, and Trevor architected the whole back end. But Trevor built his whole custom speed test system, and we're using that in the app. And then I think we're using like Hetzner to host some stuff. That's the best I know. I'm sorry I don't have more information. Like the new icon, the color scheme is really cool. Love the multicolor design. Yeah, Jordan, great points. I never thought about it. I'll ask what the options are for adding a custom icon and what the time would be. I think we got to prioritize things, right? It would be really cool to have that. I mean, good news. Look, good news for you, Jordan. Even if you can't customize the coverage map icon, you can just download the speed test app once it's available. It's in review right now. It's in review. And then you can use that for running tests. It's the same account, same exact experience, right? The only thing that this is missing is really the map tab. And you can always bounce back over to the coverage map tab for getting that actual coverage map. But I think the biggest thing, like the next project, right, is I think rebuilding this map. Like right now, this map is an embedded web browser, and it's good. It's not great. There's room to improve. You know, it's a little slow. It feels a little kind of chunky when you're trying to like swipe up on some of this stuff. It's not. There's room to improve, and we can build this in natively, and I think that'll provide a better experience. And I think that'll be the next priority over getting custom icons. But now that you mentioned it, it would be pretty cool. But yeah, you can just download the new app once it's live, hopefully very soon. Yep, these are going to be two separate apps, and that's how come I have two separate icons, is they are actually totally different. Two separate apps. One has the coverage maps built in and ranks for that coverage map search term, and the other one is really designed to rank for that speed test keyword and just be a great speed testing experience. So it's all the same features you know and love for the multi-tests, all the test duration, the smart automatic speed test mode. Really, the only thing we did is we like popped the leaderboard down here so it's easier to access. Who's in top right now? Shout out to them. C4 end of line, of course. RF Waves 101, shout out to you. I actually can't read that backwards. County Dancer on TikTok. That's awesome. So we put the leaderboard in the bottom and we got rid of the map. And we also just have like a check out our coverage map app option in the settings. But that's pretty much it. Just trying to rank for that keyword. Ooh, Steve coming in to SIM swap on Android. I used the Good Lock app and used touch macros to record button presses, needed to change SIMs, then put a shortcut to it on the springboard or pull down settings menu. That is somewhat convoluted, but hey, it works. It works. Yeah, Musty, you're absolutely correct. It would be cool. I think widgets, background app testing, there's so much we can do. You're absolutely right. We just got to take it one step at a time. We're getting the speed test app shipped. Then I think we're going to rebuild the maps tab. Once that's rebuilt, I think then we'll kind of expand and explore what makes sense to add next. Background testing, I think, would probably be really cool. I've heard that a lot. Will the speed test leave the coverage map app once this comes out? No, not at all. The coverage map app is not changing. We're keeping it full featured, fully functioned. The speed test, as I mentioned, it's not even really for coverage map users. It's really for everyone else who doesn't know we exist, who's like, I need to check my internet speed. And they go in the app store and they search speed test. So hopefully our app pops up and they run a test and then we're able to show that on the map and make something cool for everyone. So, yeah, Vartan, any thoughts on doing a 2025 interview with US Mobile CEO Ahmed? I'm sure Ahmed would be super down. It'd be fun to get some more interviews going here. And it would be cool to chat. We'll see what they have cooking. Makes sense. Appreciate it. Yeah, and Ian Shorts. Hey, Stetson, thanks for all the work you do for everyone. It's really helpful for everyone to find the best phone plans that work for them, especially with prices rising. Yeah, thank you so much for the comment. I appreciate you. Given iPhone Air poor sales, do you expect any offers on iPhone Air? Shriyank, great question. I think the answer is no. I mean, how come iPhone Air sales were poor? I think part of the problem was that the offers on the iPhone Air were poor, right? So if I go to T-Mobile iPhone Air, oh, well, I'm eating my words right now because T-Mobile has CR 10 promotions on us. Okay, $900 off. $830 off with Experience More, Go 5G Plus. I was going to say that the promos were worse. Let me see. On us deal, no trade-in. Oh my gosh. Trading a device. Save 27. How much is it when you finance it? Is it 27 a month? $0. I take it back. I was like, oh, the promos aren't so good because you have to pay like $100, but no, the promos are fantastic. I guess this answers both the questions. Like, the offers are still here. Apparently, they're still great. And if you want the iPhone Air, there will be options. I think, yeah, I think it's just they're trying to get rid of it and they'll sell it. Are you going to the AI day at their HQ next month? I actually forgot this was happening and don't know if I got an invite, so we'll have to check on that. I think, yeah, they talked about this a while ago. TBD. Going from Colorado to New York, it's a big one. It's a bigger trip. Yeah, Clint would also love more detail regarding MVNO carrier when speed testing. Yeah, that's a great piece of feedback. Yeah, I think when the promo first started, it was like $830 off, but now it looks like it's higher. Maybe they're trying to boost sales. I mean, maybe that's exactly what's going on. I have T-Mobile as my main phone line. Should I get Darkstar as a backup to have dual connection? Up to you. I mean, if you like the cellular space and having a lot of options while you're, to keep yourself connected, go for it. I've been personally rocking only the Verizon network, and I'm totally cool with that. So, yeah, this is fair. If you have T-Mobile postpaid, you can just use the satellite connection as backup, and you'll always be able to send messages, which is really most important. I'm surprised the Air is doing so poorly. Everyone that has it seems to love it. I would say everyone that kept it loves it because they kept it, and they kept it because they loved it, and it is really cool. It's not for me. I love that telephoto camera. I'm a big camera guy. Gabriel, who do you have for home internet? What speeds do you get? Funny enough, so I have Nextlight fiber, municipal fiber offered by the city of Longmont. Fantastic. I love it. No complaints. I am, quote unquote, testing Verizon 5G home internet, but you'll notice the internet box is not plugged in. It's because Verizon 5G is very poor at this location, and I've struggled to commit to using it because I like having fast internet, and it's not fast. I also just got Minternet and T-Mobile 5G home internet, I think arriving both tomorrow, and so we'll be working on a video on that, and we'll hopefully publish that coming soon. All right, I think we got to call this stream because I'm getting tired. And I know you guys love timestamps, and I have to rewatch the stream to add timestamps. So I'm just making my job harder by staying on. But yeah, I think we're gonna end it. I'll crush through some timestamps, get those posted, pass out, and then get these phones charging and wake up and run some more speed tests and keep working on that data. And yeah, I think we're gonna call it there. So thank you everyone. All 179 of you showed up, tuned in, listened to me live, got your questions answered. I hope you are able to save some money on your phone bill. And yeah, I'm going to call it there. So thank you so much for tuning in. Have an awesome rest of your Monday, a superb rest of your week ahead. And I will see you next Monday for another epic live stream. All right. Take care, everyone, and have a great rest of your week. Bye.